good luck! Fuck it! So you can run and tell back, homeboy.
Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over.
I want to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
What you gonna do?
You're killing me, Small.
So you can run and tell back, homeboy. Good luck! Fuck it!
What you gonna
So
do?
you can run and tell back, homeboy.
Good
luck!
Fucking word and this shit is
So
over.
you can run and tell back, homeboy.
Jesus Christ. I feel like that gets steadily longer each time he does it.
It should, as it should.
I mean, yeah. Yo, shout out to the FooL Friends episode 10. Right? This is 10. 10!
Yeah, you're in the double digits now.
Yeah, and that's bi-weekly.
That means it's real.
Because, I can't do that shit weekly. As much as I love this show, and I gotta do blunt sessions weekly, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But yeah, so thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 10. We got Big Red here in the building.
What's up?
We got Chuck.
What's up, everybody?
What up? Mr. Aruba. The chair is missing. If you guys are looking and watching on the Facebook Live, Ohio Radio Facebook, check it out. We're live right now. Aruba's not here. He's actually at a business meeting right now.
Getting wined and dined.
He is working on some potential upcoming shows, so stay tuned on that. He does have 2 shows coming up. One actually locally here at Brass Mug. That's on the 23rd, next Wednesday, coming up. $10 cover. It's right by Skipper's down the street from there. So check it out. He's going to be up. It's going to be great. So, he may possibly show up. He may not.
Depends on how his
Depends on
business
how
date is going.
Right. So yeah. Shout out to him. He's doing big things. Can we give him a round of applause, Serge?
I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Who gets a round of applause for not being here?
Well, because he's making moves.
Yeah.
He's furthering his career as
Sounds like a
comedian.
participation trophy to me.
So so he's going to be hopefully showing up later, or if anything, he might call in when we talk about our upcoming reviews for this episode. Shout out to Serge in general.
Oh shit, he said my name. Mark it down. The 10th episode.
Too.
Well, no, here's the thing. I didn't announce him as that note, but
He
shout out
just
to him
said
for
shout out to me.
referencing or saying, "Hey, check this out."
Still the quickest you said his name yet.
Right.
Though.
This is true.
I think it's the first time he's ever said my name. on the
No,
show.
well, technically, yes.
I think so. Yeah.
But in the tall grass.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
I watched it on my phone.
Wasn't that shit good?
Yeah, we're going to get into that
alright.
later. That's going to be the last review of
That's
the
like
evening.
a surprise to me. I didn't think you guys watched it.
Because Aruba wants to try to call and talk about that. So.
I'm all in my feelings now. You said my name. You fucking actually watched the movie that I recommended before Mandy.
Well, that's only because of what's happening next week. Are we allowed to say that?
What's happening next week?
Next week?
Oh yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's a thing. Friday.
It's
Definitely,
Friday?
it's definitely a Friday.
Next Friday? For sure.
Not next Friday. Two Fridays from now, which would be your next episode.
Yeah. So yeah, actually that's
November
right. Yeah.
1st.
So next episode will be Surgeless.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
We're gonna be Surgeless November 1st because why, Surge?
We're gonna be throwing a purge party November 1st at the Kennedy. The Kennedy.
Nice.
The actual super nice club right off of
Pretty
Kennedy.
dope, man. Familiar with it?
Yeah. Gino Lexus got asked to DJ there, so we're gonna be doing that.
Nice.
And depending on the turnout, which already is it's doing pretty well as far as online. Everybody's saying they're going to go. We might mess around and get locked in as far as a weekly deal there, which would be amazing. And they also are partnered with HPC Hyde Park Cafe, and all goes well, we might even get a day there. So we might be
Very
doing
nice.
big things.
Yeah. So
Yeah, do
moves are being made.
So Gino's going to be DJ, and I'm going to be the
Shout out to
MC
Gino.
talking my shit, telling everybody to get to the bar, tip your bartenders. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it last night actually, because Team Flow Ohio here, that's what we do. Hey, so submission showdown, right? We got at Flow Ohio Radio at yahoo.com. Please send music for the submission showdown for blunt sessions. In your subject line, you want to type submission showdown, attach your music or musics, Preferably, the more the better. And basically, maybe we could do that. Like get them on, if all things go well, have them featured one of the evenings.
Yeah, we could
That's
do anything
a
we want.
possibility, So imagine that. You win Submission Showdown, and you end up getting to perform at the Kennedy.
Nice.
It's pretty dope, man.
I gotta say, that's a pretty fucking great deal.
Sweet deal.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
So, so that's basically what's going to be potentially going on here in the coming future. So the next episode, we are going to be surgeless. I will have to be fucking driving the ship.
You got this.
Oh, man.
Been doing this long enough. You got this.
Right. But I got to do all that shit.
Have you been back there?
Yeah, once.
You mean we can
Once?
start on time?
Right, that too.
Yeah.
But thing is, I'll have to
It'll be our
definitely
shortest intro,
schedule
too.
like an hour or something off of work. Because if I have to do that, I got to be here and have the time to, get here earlier and sit down and make sure I'm familiarized. I've only done it once for the other show. One of the other shows, The Fresh Room. Shout out to them. Flow Ohio Radio.
You got it.
So Serge, that song, can you go ahead and drop my music for me,
Sure, which
please,
one?
sir? The one that we argued about. That's what we do, because, it's what brothers do. You argue over shit. Ultimately knowing the other person is probably going to bend. Just bring it down just a little bit. Pretty epic fucking music, right?
Yeah, I like it.
You hear the manatee? Wait for it. Yo, all right. So for those that are tuning in that don't know this song, which is pretty much everybody in this room but me, this is one of the songs from League of Legends. Very popular MOBA. It's a battle arena. Chuck knows is familiar with it and hasn't really played it, but you know what I'm talking about. And
Not my style.
right, and which is understandable. But for those that don't know, very quick summary, as simple as possible. 5 versus 5. Everybody's got positions, kind of like basketball. Everybody's got positions, and you basically fight other players, real time. And it's kind of like Diablo a little bit, where it's overhead, and everybody's special abilities, such on and so forth. And you push towers down, and you get to their base. Well, they're coming on their 10th year. This is their 10th year anniversary for having that game created and played, and it's free to play. Now, here's the thing. It has become one of the biggest esport games currently going right now. I don't know if it's the top. It's near the top. It has to be, I would say, probably in the top 3 easily. In regards of the income, the player, the base, the fans, how they present it, everything about it. Because when you watch this shit, like, there's people like post-game interviews, like basketball and football, like legit, like, so in 10 minutes in, they killed you. What happened? Tell us about that play. And like, it's legit. That's why I kind of blew my mind when I first, started seeing how that was going. I think it was season 3 or 4. They sold out the Staples Center
Holy shit.
within like a couple of minutes. I can't remember the specific minutes, but it was like, I don't think more than 5. But that song is for one of their most fun game modes, like random game modes, because there's the steady constant, but then there's the fun different random modes, and that one's called Earth, and their mascot's like a manatee looking thing with a spatula. And basically during that mode, everybody's OP. Basically everybody's strong as fuck. Everybody's moves are like off cooldowns, like you're just spamming everything. It's crazy, right? So 10 years, and they dropped their nuts this past week, basically. Because this, now mind you, this company has been developing this particular game for 10 years. They've been playing it, the sports, all the whole thing, the esports, everything, right? It wasn't until just this week they announced they are dropping a first-person shooter within the next year or two. They already are porting both of their most recent game they dropped, which is they call an auto chess. You'll probably see it on your Google Play. They made their own version of it, basically, and they're putting that on mobile. They have also a animated series coming that they're developing, in which all of their like character reveals and stuff like that, kind of how like Apex has their reveals.
Right.
They really League of Legends advertises their shit like on some movie shit. Like the next character is usually pretty fucking hype just because of their preview, their trailer, you know? And so everybody's always been saying for the past 10 years, basically, like, yo, you guys really need to do like an animation, do a movie, and finally they're doing a series. And they got a card game coming and a fucking fighting game. Like a 2D like Street Fighter fucking fighting game.
This better take off because that's a lot of
Well,
effort.
the thing is, I've seen it, and honestly, this isn't just like, oh, we're just gonna shoot loads everywhere because fuck it. No, like this is purposeful jizz.
Well, let me ask you about the first-person shooter, though.
Purposeful.
We're trying to get pregnant.
Exactly. They're gonna impregnate each genre. So with the first-person shooter, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Is it going to be like a campaign-based game? Is it going to be multiplayer? Is it going to be
No,
like
they're
Battle
all
Royale?
about the PvP.
Okay, so it's going to be PvP.
Right. So it basically, from what I've seen, the mechanics, it looks like an actual tactical shooter, but with like abilities, kind of like if you ever seen Overwatch.
Okay.
Well,
Even Apex to a degree.
well, yeah, exactly, yeah, kind of like that. But even seems like even more tactical than Apex. But I also believe it's all going to be set in their world that they created via the League of Legends game itself. So,
Okay.
and the thing is, like, and it's funny because yeah, you would think like, oh damn, like they're dropping all this shit, and it's like, is this all going to hit? And I watched the little snippets of each, and they actually all look like they have potential. Like, even as like not the most greatest of that genre, but definitely something that you're like, yo, I'd fuck with that.
Now, what's the first thing to drop, though?
I believe their first thing they're dropping is their card game, which is, if you've ever seen anything about Blizzard's card game Hearthstone, it's similar to that.
I've seen it around.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people may have heard of it this week, and I'm going to get into that in just a second, actually.
If you're on Reddit or R Gaming, then yeah.
Right.
You definitely have.
So, but yeah, so that's what League is doing. They're doing that, and so there's a celebration because it's 10 years, big deal. It's good stuff, and honestly, I'm looking forward to their animated series though, like because all their shit, their music's actually really fucking good. Like that track was as funny as it was with the manatee going off. It's still fucking banger. Like you kind of like, yo, all right, shit, something epic's about to go down.
To be honest, it kind of reminds me of something from like a mid-90s, late 90s like PS1 game.
Right, you know, it's that nostalgia fucking, it was amped, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like not over the top, but kind of to a degree. I don't
Right,
know.
yeah. And they've had like, and I know like they've become Nickelback, but Imagine Dragons.
Fuck Imagine Dragons.
They've become
I'm gonna say it
Nickelback.
right here. Fuck Imagine Dragons.
They have become Nickelback, let's be real. As much as I do like some of their earlier shit, they have become that. And like I'm even like, God damn it, what happened to you guys? Like they sold out, basically. But they even made a song for one of their world championships. And it's actually a pretty dope song. But they legitimately made
Who'd
it.
they rip off?
No, they it was original as fuck. It was.
I doubt that, but all right.
Yeah, just don't hate him that much, Chuck. Jesus Christ. Let him have a little credit, all right?
No.
Let him have something.
No.
They even made a fucking animated pop star group that the single popped off. Like, actually made him a little bit of money. Nah, it was just K-pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was the characters from the game, like 5 chicks from the game, and they basically made them into, like, K-pop singers. To the point where they did a holographic performance at one of their world championships.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, like, and the World Championships is going on right now, actually, these weekends. So check it out if you guys, anybody that likes League of Legends is listening. That shit's going on if you don't know, which you probably do already, so... But that brought me to the other point about the Hearthstone. As everybody has seen it in the news now, to the point it's made it to, what's her name? Ocasio and whoever else. To the senators talking about they want to get this kid's ban lifted. This kid, this guy plays a virtual card game. Not even real cards. Not even real fucking cards. Not something that you can physically touch and smack on a table like you playing spades when you cut motherfuckers like bam. Like, here's my trap card. No, this is a virtual card game. He got banned. This professional player, mind you, got banned for supporting the protesting in Hong Kong.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah. Well, this is actually, what's for me, this has started.
Are you sure you want to open that can of worms? Because that's a pretty steep, like, There's
Let's
slippery
not kill
slope
our
right there.
Chinese listeners.
It
No,
is a podcast ender.
Well, no,
Like,
no,
that's all you're going to talk about for an hour and a half.
no. I'm just saying
least
it.
That's a completely different show right there.
It for me, all that shit that has happened really started with that player. He got banned for a year. They took his prize money, and basically Blizzard pretty much were like, okay, well, we can't really do nothing about it. Bullshit, you can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Their statement was basically saying, oh, he knows he shouldn't have did that, blah, blah. They did give him his prize money back, and they cut his ban from a year to 6 months. So, mind you, this guy, that's just his livelihood.
They
Still
cut
stupid,
his band in half, and
Yeah.
people expect.
Sorry, I thought this was America.
Exactly. So, like, that shit kind of blew my mind.
No, 6
though.
months is still ridiculous. That's
There
absurd.
ban should not be a word being used with this shit. It's
No.
like ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's freedom of speech. It's a violation of freedom of speech.
Well, yeah.
That's what I think. But I'm not. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to really go into that.
Right, and I don't plan on
Well, I look at it. They're a private company. Well, we won't get into it.
right. We'll get.
I'm trying really hard not to get going.
No,
Let's not do this.
you, deep. You can finish the statement there, but we won't go past the end of the statement. Just to be fair, because we're just commenting on what has happened.
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything about anything.
we're talking about free speech.
I'm just
and then
discussing.
I went completely into like political territory. Not even.
But
talking
it
about the
is
game.
though. It's
Yeah.
and
Red got-
unfortunately,
No, I
it
did.
is.
I was
Red got
about to
Red
go
got
work.
triggered there for a second.
Yeah, I literally get red and just fucking. I'm not lying, bro. It makes me mad. I get heated.
Like, fuck this place. Let me tell you something, brother. You start fucking with my democracy, you're fucking with my soul.
Dude, that's a good fucking impression, man.
That was pretty good.
It's the way you end the sentences. I can't even replicate it, but like,
Brother, let me tell you when I'm coming.
that's great, man.
You're gonna hear me before you see me, brother.
Damn, can we do the whole show like that?
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't be able to be serious like
Joker.
at all.
Let me tell you about Joker. Let me tell you about this movie, brother.
But yeah, so it's for me, it's just crazy that things have gotten to that point to where, like, one, just esports in general, where they're like, these kids, these adults are like being treated like actual sports figures. Like, for those who are tuning in who don't know much about esports, like, I recommend you just give it a look-see, peruse a little
There's
bit.
a whole
You could literally just
underworld.
watch ESPN.
Yes.
Yeah, ESPN Ocho.
Yeah.
But there's a whole underworld of that I didn't even know existed.
Well, and the
It's a whole
crazy
subculture.
part is there's some people are slowly dabbling with it. Like, I think ABC or CBS recently was legit. CBS or ABC
It's getting pretty mainstream.
was legitimately...
Well, ABC's affiliated with ESPN, so that would make
so
sense.
that probably would be in it then.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was ESPN, but they were showing, I think it was...
Yeah, ABC. I mean, ESPN's showing a lot of
It
stuff.
was Overwatch, actually. And I remember because he was
Yeah.
at the house. I told him, I was like, look at this shit. Like, that's fucking a video game being shown on national television. Like,
yeah, ESPN fell off a lot.
but they're making
Oh,
the
yeah,
smart move.
for sure.
ESPN 1, 2, 3.
Have you
4,
seen this? Was it
5.
Slam Ball or something? Where they have the little trampoline on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Spike Ball. That's
Spike
what it's
ball.
called.
I saw that shit on Shark Tank. Apparently, it's supposed to be pretty fun.
It blew up. Like, colleges are having teams, like actual college teams going against each other.
I would ask what the rules are, but
pretty
the
cool.
podcast might get derailed.
yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But
So he just throws.
Can I just? It's a little trampoline.
Is it real quick?
They have a ball.
Yeah.
And you got say for instance the trampoline's right here in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
I got my guy here. You guys, you got your two there. You just got to spike it. It's kind of like tennis. It's like tennis. in
I
a
think
way.
it's like handball, but
It's
like
handball, but tennis
vertically
because the ball can't hit
versus
the ground.
horizontally.
Pretty much,
Ball
yeah.
can't hit the ground.
No, so you got to hit it off the trampoline. It's got to go in the air, and you got to hit it back.
Maybe it's
to
like,
hit
you
the
know what it is?
Oh,
I
that's-
think it's almost
It's like the
ex-
inverse of like volleyball.
Yeah.
that
Kinda,
one,
yeah, yeah.
That's how you got to bounce it off the
dude,
ground.
Yeah,
extreme.
you got to bounce
it's,
it off the trampoline
That
every
is
time.
awesome.
it's fucking extreme Foursquare.
It is though.
yeah.
Well played.
It's
Damn,
extreme
yeah.
Foursquare.
I'll give
It's
you that
one
one.
square,
yeah.
You only get
The
one
circle.
square.
no double taps. What y'all know about them double taps? That four square
But
double
it's
taps.
also like volleyball because you can if it comes to you, you can hit it up to your partner. He can hit up to
Oh,
you.
you could-
So it's got the volleyball vibe to it, but also
But yeah,
Foursquare.
yeah, it's basically
That's
it. It's
awesome.
like pro.
Dude, I sat there and watched it for like 2 hours. I was
Yeah,
like, why
the first
am I
time he
so...
showed me, I was sitting there like, "Yo, what the fuck is this for real?"
It went from being outdoors to now they're playing in gyms in
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's the
Wow.
same thing with esports. There are I think Ohio State has a League of Legends
Yeah,
team.
they do.
And Michigan. I'm like, yo,
Do
like
they use a volleyball? I'm sorry.
No,
What
it's,
a
just
ball?
like it's like a little soft.
like a
it's like the
tennis
size
ball?
of a softball, but it's
Yeah.
like soft.
You can't grab it, or can you
No,
grab?
you have to hit it.
You have to hit it.
You have to spike
What?
it. Hence the name spike ball.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That sounds fun.
But yeah, like check it out. There have been people that have gotten visas to play a video game in a different country or to come from their country to here and play for a team here. Like, dude, like it's fucking crazy.
There's money involved.
Where was
man.
this when I was younger?
Right. When I was actually way better. Like
Yeah,
now I'm
exactly.
just adequate.
Before I had
It's just like
responsibilities.
professional athletes. Like you lose your quick twitch muscle
You get
fibers.
your all the muscle memory is gone.
Dude, my reaction time has gone to shit compared to what it used to
Dude,
be.
it really is true though. I think you lose something. There's something that's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, off in the ether
And
forever.
it's sad, you know, because I would love to be some of these pro leagues and just shitting on people.
I think it's just decision making in general. Because like you were more instinctive when you were a child. You're like, oh, I got to turn left, but whereas your adult brain's like, do you really have to turn left?
Yeah.
right.
No, your
you gotta
adult brain's
turn
like,
left.
if you go left, take you. This could happen.
It's like, yeah, it's like,
That natural
should I
doubt
bust
sets in.
inside of her?
Yeah.
You just do it when you're a
let's
kid.
Just go for it. Yeah, exactly. When you're a kid, you're just
Your decision making skills are shit, but it makes for good gaming.
yeah.
Hilarious.
There's no second guessing when you're a kid.
Yeah,
That's fucking great.
I think that's what it is.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You should do a TED talk.
right? This is my TED Talk.
Red does Ted.
Let's take you back to your college days. You're with your girl.
Back when I used to play Madden.
So yeah, shout out to them for the that and fuck Blizzard for being bitches, but whatever. Money's important. And
Did y'all like cut off your accounts?
I'm gonna honestly say I did unsubscribe to
Unsubscribe? That's what I
WoW.
was trying to-
I did because
the
I was
logical word.
I was subbed to WoW for a little because of the classic WoW. It was actually fun to kind of have nostalgia a little bit, and then I was honestly a little bit bored with it, but also that kind of forced me because I was like I can't continue to give money to that.
I cut off my subscription. I know that.
I was like honestly, that's just I more so like you took this dude's money.
Yeah.
Like you had to cause a public outrage for this man to get paid. He won that shit fair and square. You know, like
bullshit.
he earned that shit. It's one thing to ban him, but then take his money. Like that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's
So-
fucked up.
But
They're
yeah,
basically using their like code of conduct shit to like
Right.
ban them. It's like because you should know when you go on another program.
Right.
Apparently, like the people he was being interviewed by too, they like went under the desk. They were like all scared for what he. For
well,
what
yeah,
he was,
they
'cause
got
he was
the
wearing
t-
that mask. And
well, the
shit.
two people got fired for the casters for them. That's right. These games have casters. Yeah, play callers. Yeah, like it's crazy. But anyways, so
And they were just there, just not even. Did they even?
all they were doing was casting.
They were
Like,
Did
doing
they
what
even
they were
bring him
supposed to
into it,
do.
or did
no,
he just,
no. You know how casters with sports are
Yeah,
like,
they
all
just
right,
sit
he's
there.
running towards third. He's running. He's gonna. There's people for that for esports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't.
All
They
they
didn't
did-
ask him any questions.
No, they might have said, "Oh wow, he's
Apparently,
doing
they
this."
literally went under the desk because they were scared. They were like, I mean, they knew like he was. This is some crazy shit he's doing.
like
right
this
now.
is some
Yeah.
fuckery.
It's like-
Like that Kanye West after Hurricane Katrina type shit.
So they hid, man. Like they were like, no, we're not affiliated with that. Like, yes, you are.
And now you're fired.
Yeah, that's the craziest part to me, to be honest. It's
It
like,
really
bro,
is.
like
That's because
they had nothing to do with it, but because their faces were there, it's like, what?
yeah, like you're associated with this shit.
What
now.
is
Oh
that
my
say?
god,
So
Never mind, we're not even going to talk about
Right.
it says a lot.
So the other thing I wanted to actually discuss, I saw that I shout out to Steam. Steam is now going to make it to where some of the multiplayer games that you have, where they're specifically local multiplayer, they're working on to make all of those online. So those couch multiplayer games that you can only be there on the same system, they are working to make all games that have that function able to play online.
As long as they keep both functions, that's great.
Right. Well,
'Cause
yeah.
there needs to be more couch co-op.
Right, but the fact is, not everybody can sit on the same couch together.
That's true.
So they're working on that, and I think that's fucking
No,
amazing.
any game that has that should have both.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Those
though.
were the good old days, like GoldenEye, Mario Party.
Perfect Dark.
GoldenEye.
Fucking Perfect Dark.
Mario Party, yeah.
Mario Party was one of the ones, man. That shit, bruh.
Mario Kart.
Fuck yes. Mario Kart. Why are you looking at my screen for? That was also GoldenEye. Why are you looking at my screen?
No, I didn't like. I hated when you can look on somebody else's screen. That was bullshit.
But it added a whole other element, though.
Right.
It did.
No,
You could be tactical,
Right.
by like knowing they're going to see what you're doing, and you could actually like do like the opposite of what they think.
no. All you
Right.
got to do to beat that,
Stare at the
just
ground.
look down.
Yep. And that's what he did. He used to do that shit all the time.
I used to run around and just look down. Look up, look down.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, man.
Which makes sense, though.
Yeah,
it makes
it does.
perfect
They
fucking
can't
sense.
tell where you are. So
Yeah.
Like I was like, yo, and he was that type of
That's
person.
funny.
He would always find like things that like yo, if I can do it, I'm just gonna do it until you stop me doing it.
yeah, 'cause fuck that. Fuck looking at my screen.
Yeah, like Street Fighter with this motherfucker. I hated fighting him in Street Fighter until I got older and actually learned how to play.
That LAN parties, when that became a thing the first time, that's
dude.
where the game changed.
Yeah, the
Remember,
first
we'd
LAN
be at
party
Thug
we had
Mansion
was
doing
with the
LAN
original
Halo.
Dude,
Yes,
original
that's
Halo.
Great
Bruh.
Halo 2,
Yeah.
Halo 3
bruh,
nights.
dude, the Sefner
Yeah, right,
house,
Halo 2.
house in Sefner, we had that shit throughout the whole house. We had
Yeah.
we had a TV in the garage.
Yeah.
With an Xbox, we had one in the loft on the big screen, and then we had one in my brother's room. Bruh, when I tell you we was playing fucking Halo through the whole house,
And we had the hacked Halo,
Nice.
yes,
to where the pistol shoots missiles.
fucking the rocket pistol,
I didn't know that
That shit was
existed.
dude, rocket pistols.
That was a thing?
Yes,
That was when
I
you
think
could
there's gotta
first,
be video
when you
of
could
that.
first hack the
There's gotta
Xbox.
be.
They had a chip that you soldered in it called the Chameleon. And once you did that, all you had to do is get the coding, and you upload the coding to the folder for Halo, and then it becomes a
So it's
map.
kind of like a Game Shark, Game Genie
Yeah.
kind of
right,
Yeah, listen.
basically.
the sniper shot like grenades. It wasn't a grenade, but when it hit, it was like a big ass explosion.
Yeah,
None of the
pretty cool.
none of the vehicles used to fly, but it made it to where some of the vehicles could fly.
yeah,
Flying
yeah.
The
Warthog.
rocket
Yeah.
pistol was the best though.
Yeah, rocket pistol was the shit because that you just the fights and God.
We would just stand on one side and just.
What was it, Gulch? Big Gulch?
Yeah, blood gulch.
Blood Gulch.
You're
Yeah.
on blood
That was
gulch.
the
You're on the other side of
yeah.
blood gulch. You see like 8 missiles coming your way. Like
Yeah.
it was the coolest shit in the fucking
You're
world.
trying to snipe somebody, all of a sudden you see rockets coming at
But we would take the little purple wraith, the little hover
Yeah.
one, and just fly it all the way up to the top of the screen. And there's a spot you can just
Oh, you mean the Ghost?
the
you.
ghost.
Yeah, the
Ghost,
ghost.
yeah.
We would fly, yeah, because we made it
The
so we
Wraith
could,
is the big one.
yeah, the ghost is the one that
the
could
tank,
actually
yeah.
that the hovercrafts, but the hack made it to where you could fly them. We would fly up to the top of the screen. And you could just kind of hang on the wall and just.
Dude.
Yeah, we broke the fuck out of that
It
game.
was so fucking
I used to know
awesome.
And I'm
all
over
the
here
glitches in
like
the first
dual wielding
Halo.
was cool in the second one.
yeah,
right?
yeah. And
Yeah,
it was.
they added it. That's
It
like
was.
Dual wielding needlers back
Y'all
in the
are
day.
like, well, we had pistols that shot rockets.
Right, right.
We did this shit.
It was great.
It didn't even make sense.
There
It
was
didn't even make sense.
There was also this one game I used to play, fucking Phantom Dust.
Oh yeah, that was another one.
I don't know that one.
I don't know
Dude,
that.
Phantom Dust. Let me tell you, like, it was a creeper that didn't hit, and I'm sad because if it hit, I think people now especially would have been about it because it's basically a card game, but you're actually walking around like it's 3D, and like that's the best way I equate it because you go into the match, right? You have a 30 because
What system was this?
this was Xbox.
Xbox, okay.
And basically, your deck, right, was what you went into the match with. So your deck, you had 30 slots, and you had to basically balance between, like, if you know anything about Magic, you got to use land to use spells, right? So
I
you
had
could,
no idea.
Well, basically, it was their resource. So you would have to kind of balance how many you have, so you can use the moves you put in your set. So there was this whole balance of you can make different decks, and the fights were kind of like Dragon Ball Z. Like you're like you can float in the air and shoot like bombs at motherfucker like, and we had that shit to where we played throughout the house. When I tell you, we spent hours on that shit, dude. Like evenings, because you could just like have different types of abilities. Like I had one set where I would juice my guy to the point where he was running like fucking Flash through the whole map.
Nice.
Like they hated me because I fucking effectively unlocked everything, so I would find the best shit that I could put together. Oh, dude, I was a monster.
I'm thinking about when we play Apex, and that makes total sense. I can definitely see that.
Like, dude, you can ask him. Like, I mastered that shit. Like, my favorite was that because I also had a move where I could punch people and fucking punch them really hard. So I just run up and be like, bow, and then run away. It was the funniest shit, dude. But yeah, I want that to come back. Phantom Dust was fucking amazing, and I need that again in my life. So, and one last gaming thing before we.
Sure, yeah.
Bully was
I liked
fucking
it.
great.
Yeah.
Like it just. So they're playing that, but also like 6 has pretty much been confirmed, but not the what city. So it's still been rumored though that we're looking at Vice.
It makes sense though. It's been the
Right.
longest gap.
Yeah.
You know.
I would love though just for them to go to Miami now. Like I don't.
Instead of going back to the 80s again.
Yeah, I mean they could. I mean I think they should incorporate 5. Like I think 5 like characters from 5 should be in 6 to kind of bring it all together and fucking just make GTA
Tie it all
world.
together.
Yeah. Fucking mate, and then you get Tokyo and you're good.
They need to do another international one because I talked about London last time, but that game was kind of shit. You know, they need to do another one.
I think that would be dope.
Japan would be awesome. Well, that's pretty much Sleeping Dogs, though. Did you ever play Sleeping Dogs?
That game was amazing.
That game was amazing.
Yo, if nobody's ever checked out Sleeping Dogs, that shit was great.
It's like a Japanese GTA, but who was
Right.
that made by Squaresoft or Square Enix?
I think they did. Yeah, I think they had a part in it. I'm pretty sure they did.
It was a great game, though. It was more combat focused as opposed to like guns.
And the thing is, yo, that game was fucking brutal. Like
It was.
like slamming dudes' heads into walls and fucking pulling fucking shit down on them. Like the shops, you know how the shops close up.
The storm doors or whatever.
Dude,
Yeah.
I used to fuck people up in that game. I'm gonna have to play through that shit again because the story was good too. Because it's your standard cop undercover, drama.
The story's like nothing special that you haven't seen before, but the
Right.
gameplay's worth it.
Exactly, and it's just fun. And there's some recognizable voices in there too. I can't remember right
And a good
now.
soundtrack too. They actually have some decent bands from like Opeth and stuff, a little more death metal stuff that I was surprised was in there.
There was a lot of
Good soundtrack.
man. But yeah, check that out, Sleeping Dogs. So let's
Stephen Cho just got hurt.
Stephen Cho.
Hurt.
And they were filming an episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Oh really?
Now production has been halted for 7 to 9 months.
Oh
Damn.
That sucks.
I wonder what he got hurt doing.
He obviously was probably doing some
All
sort
the
of stunt.
things.
Shit.
He was doing all the things.
This just in, breaking news. Well,
Real.
shit. If you guys don't know, they're making Cowboy Bebop live action. A lot of us are very scared and worried.
As
I
we
still
should
haven't
be.
watched it.
Dude, when I tell you Cowboy Bebop is one of the best animes ever created.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm not a big anime
Right.
guy. I just have a few that I really like, but I'm not big into anime at all.
Dude, that
One
is-
Punch Man's probably my favorite, though. It's just so funny.
And I've seen parts of it. I'm like, I should watch this.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, I
Do
haven't sat down
Do
through
it.
it yet. Maybe
Do it.
we'll do that.
Is
We'll
that your
do-
recommendation for next week or next 2 weeks?
Is there? Well, yeah. 'cause
We should
do
no,
that-
we do 3 movies.
I have-
we
I
should
have-
all have a movie.
I have
That's
a
how
different
this
thing
should
I'd
work.
rather do before One
what I'm
Punch Man. The Boys.
The Boys. Yeah.
Do it. It's
Okay.
incredible.
Yeah.
I'm down, man. That's a whole season.
So
can do
we
that.
want to
8
do.
episodes, an hour long each.
That's not bad.
So then for like the next show, we want to do a show and a movie. Because a show, that's a lot to put. That's a lot.
Watching one of these movies we're about to review
already
made me
watched
want
it,
to
so-
watch another movie or have y'all watch it actually.
Okay.
Because it's crazy. And it
Okay.
reminded me of it.
Okay.
But we'll
Dennis,
talk
if
about
you're
that.
listening, I don't know if you're still doing your thing, but
Well, he's
we
gonna-
need your recommendation too.
Well, he's gonna be. He told me to let him know when I'm going to call him. So when we get to In the Tall Grass,
We each get a piece
Fair
of
enough.
media we can recommend.
I like that.
I think that's
I
how
think
we should do it.
we'll. I think we'll do that show or movie. We can.
Eventually, we could branch into albums.
Yeah, but dude, that's like a whole nother fucking hour of a show. Like music.
We can't have a 3-hour show.
music.
That happened yesterday on Blunt Session.
Right, exactly.
We can't
I'm
have
not
a
trying to
5-hour
have
show?
a 3-hour show.
What about 5?
Fair
Because
enough.
like I got to work.
Let's just make it a day.
Fucking a whole day.
All day. Let's go.
Bruh. And we could. But yeah, so Cowboy Bebop being done as live action. Stephen Cho, which you may know as Harold from Harold and Kumar.
Oh, okay.
He is playing Spike, the main character, which I'm like in the between. Like I think he could do it, but I'm also kind of worried because I don't know.
Well, obviously, he's not very good at doing stunts.
Right. Because he's going to be out. He's on injured reserve.
Too soon? Or?
Sergio with the.
Well, he's not
the
dead.
smackdown.
I'm not saying he's dead, but I mean, like,
honesty.
this within, like,
obviously
how long ago did that
sucks.
happen, though? You know?
49 minutes ago.
Thank
Within
you.
an hour.
Appreciate you for the breaking news. That was
Yeah, I saw that. I was
a
like,
good
damn,
call.
really? Is that
Yeah.
what? Is that what? Jeez, we already
They
were
had the
skeptical.
whole production of the last Mission Impossible because Tom Cruise got injured.
true
Yeah.
story.
But Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise. Like,
Right.
He's a fucking
how long did it take him to get injured?
That's
Yeah,
true
that's true.
too. He's been doing that shit for a while.
You
Did
know
you
what
see?
I'm
Did you see the video where he actually like fucked his ankle up? They use it in the
What
movie.
movie was that from?
In Fallout. It's like when he's jumping from one building to another, and obviously he's got some wires on him, or whatever. But he's still landing hard. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
didn't
like
see
he
that.
comes down hard on his ankle, and then he continues running, and like you could tell, like when you know that he injured his ankle, you see it, and you're like, ooh. But like when you're just watching the movie, you're thinking like, oh, he just acted like he landed hard, but like no, he really fucked his ankle up.
Yo, that's crazy.
Actually, that happened in the Joker too. I'll tell you about that one.
yeah. When we get to that,
That reminds me. Have you guys seen the movie? I think it's called Record, REC. It's
Yeah,
like
I've seen it.
the American version of Quarantine, essentially.
Yeah.
Or no, Quarantine.
That was
rather.
when,
no,
uh,
Quarantine's the American version. My bad.
That was when handycam movies were like a thing.
Right, yeah, it was a little while back.
It was after Blair Witch. It was
It's
like,
Quarantine here in America. Record is the Brazilian, I think it is, version.
Oh,
That was the original, right?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, it was. The American version was the later one.
Never
it had,
seen it. Never seen it, but I know what you're
I don't
talking
remember her
about.
name, but she played Deborah Morgan in Dexter, the sister.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, she was the main
Oh.
character. It's a pretty decent movie, actually.
Yeah?
It's not
Quarantine?
great, but there's some scenes that are pretty like, oh shit. You know?
Why you want to do that for the next episode?
No, I want to do The Boys first.
Every movie
you guys
we
gotta watch
mention
The
is
Boys. The Boys first.
We got 8
The
movies
Boys.
lined
right.
up in a TV show.
Yeah, we can't fit all that in one show. That's too
There's
much.
just one scene in particular that just makes me cringe and made me think about it with the ankle.
Yeah?
That's all I'm going to say until you
Okay.
guys see it.
All right, I'll check that out eventually. That's on the list.
It's worth a watch.
But yeah, so I'm definitely curiously interested because I love Cowboy Bebop. Well, it is one of my favorite shows of all time. I've watched the series itself because it's only one season, and it's a beautiful, just straightforward story. Love it. Watched it a gajillion times. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I've watched it a lot.
You've talked about it a lot.
Yeah, dude, everything about it, dude. The animation, the story, the voice acting, the soundtrack, especially the soundtrack. Fuck, that shit's amazing. So the live action, that's why a lot of people are really like on edge with it, because it's something that's like you really, if you're gonna do this, you gotta do this shit right.
Right.
You
It really
know?
depends on how they're going to approach it. Because
So-
I know that Avatar was a huge letdown for a lot of people.
Yeah, dude. I even like I've watched a couple episodes of the cartoon when I've seen the movie, and I was like, yo, this is.
I will be honest, I've never actually watched it. I've been told I need to. The show, not the
The
movie.
cartoon is awesome.
I've heard.
It's one of the
there's so
like
many
in my
people.
in my opinion, it's like top 3.
A lot of people love it, and I
Yeah,
just never got around to watching
Top
it.
3
It's
shows
not that I
or
have anything
animes?
Top 3 animes,
Anime.
easily.
yeah. So
Is it technically an
Okay,
anime?
let me take that back. Top 5. I get top 5.
Easily. Let me take that back.
like, hold on.
You
Top
even
5.
had the qualifier there. Easily. And you're like,
But
oh,
honestly, I think it's between 3 and 4. It's not number 5,
okay.
but it's a tie between 3 and 4.
I'm with Chuck. I'm not an anime guy either. I never
Right.
have been.
There's a handful that I like, but
Me
for the
too.
most part, I just don't care for
Yeah.
it.
It's like one of those things. If somebody else is watching it, it looks pretty cool, like the imagery or whatever.
Right.
Then that's what it's all about. Though.
That's how I got sucked into Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I used to make fun of these guys for watching all the time. Then I sat down and watched
was
it. And I
me,
was
man.
like, you know, this is a fucking dope cartoon.
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z were decent. I didn't.
GT was the
I think
lesser of all.
it
the-
I stopped watching after when GT started.
I think the last thing I remember watching, who came first, Cell or Boo?
Cell.
Yeah.
Okay, so Boo was the last thing I saw.
Yeah.
So that was what?
That was the end of Dragon Ball Z. Boo was the end.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The whole
I didn't know that.
Boo to evil Boo thing.
Then it
all
came
that.
back and they were trying to be too funny with it.
Right.
Gotcha.
Which
Okay.
it worked back with Dragon Ball because, Goku was a kid. And I felt like they were trying to capture the whole, like, Dragon Ball essence in GT because,
Right.
again, they made Goku a kid. Except his mind was just there. He just wasn't physically
Right, yeah.
an adult. Which, yeah, that's a whole other episode.
Now I know the thing with Dragon Ball Z is that the manga wasn't coming out as fast as the show was,
Right.
so they had to purposely draw out those fights, which why everybody makes fun of them now, because
Yeah.
they had no material to go on,
For those that
You know.
don't know, there's a technical term called filler episodes.
and that was
Yeah.
90% of
Those
Dragon
things
Ball
used to
Z.
be forever.
Yeah. Well, and that's the
Like
thing.
Goku spent an entire week just powering up.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Or you'll just spend a whole episode watching Bulma do nothing.
Netflix shows get a
Hey,
reputation.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Of course you would.
Bulma can get all of it. She
So
can get the dick, the whole dick, and nothing but the dick.
Jesus, nothing.
that's a lot.
So help me God.
But yeah, so
Nothing else?
we'll have to keep an eye out. I think honestly, you should watch. Maybe I'll make us watch it for one of our shows because I
Don't
think,
do that.
dude, it's a really great show.
What?
Wait, are you talking about Cowboy Bebop?
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, no, Cowboy Bebop's good.
I thought you were talking about Dragon Balls. So I
Yeah,
was like,
because
no, I
dude,
don't wanna do that.
then you can watch the movie, which
just
their
don't.
their fucking movie.
I'm right there with you, though, man.
I love the fucking movie. God, that was such a good movie. Fucking. But yeah, anyways. So shout out to him. I hope he gets better soon. So let's get into these reviews because we got 3 we got to go through. So we're gonna start with the one that I'm pretty sure nobody watched, but still knows like the back of their hand for the most part. Damn, that was good job. Good call.
Oh, baby. That's my favorite part about the movie is the soundtrack.
I'll
Dude,
admit,
it really was.
I didn't get a
So
chance
good.
to rewatching it, but
Right.
I've seen it so many times.
Right, exactly. And that was my thing. That's why I kind of picked it because I figured like if one movie couldn't be seen, but we could still totally discuss, it'd be Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. So
Especially you.
I'm a fucking Freddy fanatic.
So you start this one then.
Yes, this was my
all
pick
you.
as well. Because it's Halloween time, fucking October. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the most iconic horror series of like all time.
Agreed.
Easily one of the most just well known across the world. Like it's fucking Freddy. You know, still to this day it holds up pretty well. Granted, there's a lot of couple things that you're just like, okay, yeah, this is definitely 80s.
This is coming from a man in his 30s too, so it holds up to him.
Right, exactly. I've seen a lot
Kids
other
today
shit.
might not
Right.
appreciate it as much.
Some of y'all youngins may not appreciate it, but you have to go into it knowing that this is a different time. You know, like this was the 80s, bro. Like this is the epitome of 80s.
Yep.
Like this movie screamed 80s.
Yep.
From Glenn's car to fucking Rod in his outfit with
Yeah.
his leather jacket.
Well, can we talk about Johnny Depp wearing
Right,
the fucking...
Johnny Depp.
He had the sweatpants on and the football
And as
shirt.
a matter
It looked
of
like
fact-
a baby shirt.
One of my favorite facts
What the shirt was.
about Johnny Depp, this was his first film.
Yep.
Because in introducing Johnny Depp.
Now what? I forget the exact year for this one.
1984.
84.
It was sitting next to it when I
Yeah.
was looking at it.
And the thing is, like,
It was like 1984. Like,
it's funny
Shit's
because the way Wes Craven wanted to come at it, he did what he wanted to for the most part. But the story, and that's why the reboot failed, because the story of Freddy, they didn't get into the whole being a child molester at all. They didn't get
with Jackie Earl Haley or whatever the guy's name is.
and that's what happened with that
Yeah.
one with the dude.
I didn't like that one as much.
That's why a lot of not necessarily probably for you, but for other people, that's why because they were a little turned off. Like, oh, he's a fucking pedo. He was, but they never really specified it. They just specified it as a child killer. So somehow that's okay. You're not really raping the kids.
Oh, wow.
You're just killing them.
Do you think that's an allegory for anything hidden in Hollywood?
I don't know. Honestly, that's a whole different show.
That is
but,
a whole different show. Conspiracy show.
Right. It's crazy
Tinfoil
like,
talk.
how a lot of the scenes were so simply creepy. Just to him dragging his knives around.
And Wes Craven's a genius, by the
Yes.
way. So he's one of the best horror directors of his time.
Yes.
Not-
rest in peace.
I don't know about all time, maybe, because he's got his own style.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
he does the true horror, where it's not about jump out scares. It's about building the
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Even
It's
though
about
they're there.
building it up.
But he builds up to that moment where you're like, oh,
That
fuck.
atmosphere
Like shit,
is
like
everything.
people under the stairs.
Yes.
And the other one, the voodoo one, I cannot remember the name. Something.
voodoo one.
It was a really good one. It was from like the early '90s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't remember.
Are you
I'll get
thinking
back to it in
of?
a second.
Oh, no, the voodoo one because I was gonna say Thinner, but that's Stephen King.
No, that's Stephen King.
Yeah. So, but this also introduced you to Robert Englund and him and his portrayal of Freddy fucking Krueger. Like the man kills it. Like, and how it evolved over time to where he became a little bit of a jokester, but his original like the creepiness of it, like how much he like terrorized you. And the thing is, it was about nightmares. Everybody has nightmares.
Exactly.
Everybody has to sleep.
Exactly.
The voodoo movie, by the way.
Yeah.
The Serpent and the Rainbow.
Okay, I never seen that.
If you never
one,
saw that,
actually.
it was '88. But that's a good movie. That's true horror, where it's about the atmosphere and you getting caught up in the situation that the protagonist gets caught in, as opposed to jump out cheap scares.
Right.
It's a true
or gore
horror movie.
basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, but this
Right.
is a true horror movie.
Yeah.
You know.
And like he just it's you got to give credit to the whole thing about like the soundtrack and the teenagers, and shout out to Heather Langenkamp. Fucking she's one of my favorite scream queens of all time.
She's supposed to be 15 in that movie, and the whole time I'm going,
nah.
They're always way too old in those movies.
Right, especially back then.
I was thinking, when they said her age in the movie, I'm like, oh.
When you watch those 90s high school movies, they're supposed to be in their 10s. I'm like,
Right.
they're like pushing 30.
Oh yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. She was easily looking like she was 20.
You know that they had Demi Moore was considered for the part.
Yeah,
really.
And then for Johnny Depp's character, they had Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm just saying,
kinda
like,
weird.
it's kind of
Well, they were like up for the role,
Right,
basically. Well, just like actually, fun fact: not Johnny Depp, but Robert Englund was initially up for for Han Solo.
Really?
Yes.
What?
That would have changed
Yes.
it completely.
No
Yes.
way.
Yeah, and instead, I forgot how Harrison Ford got it, but I think he had mentioned it to Hamill because I think him and Hamill are buddies.
I know that George Lucas was on the set of Indiana Jones. One of them. I don't remember if it was the first one, second, or third, or whatever. But he whatever one came out before Star Wars, like he was casting the part, and like he saw him on set with with Spielberg, right?
Yeah, because Spielberg,
Yeah.
Jones.
So like, and that's when he was like decided like I'm gonna cast him as Han Solo,
Yeah.
Han Solo, and he hadn't quite. It had to be the first one because he hadn't quite blown up yet.
Yeah. And he was up for it, but yeah, basically they went with Ford, obviously,
Yeah.
and which was honestly a great movie.
I remember
'cause
hearing that somewhere.
I definitely can't see Robert Englund as Han Solo.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Everybody doubted Heath Ledger. That's all I'm
the
saying.
only thing I'm saying is because they built
I didn't doubt Heath Ledger
no I did
from the beginning.
I
I was the only person. I'm usually that guy though.
Yeah.
I
I'm
didn't
the
know how to
contrarian.
feel.
no
I doubted Joaquin. I will say that, but I'm not going to that yet.
I
but
didn't
did
doubt that.
him.
But no, but my thing was I just the way they painted Han Solo in general, the character, the suave smuggler, ladies' man, talker,
Right.
I couldn't see that from the perspective of Robert Englund. Not just because of Freddy.
But he hadn't done a lot at that point.
He
either,
didn't
though.
seem like he would fit,
But you don't know because he hadn't done a lot either. So you don't know. You got to put him in the role.
He
put
also
him in front
got
of the camera and
stuck.
see what happens.
Like when he was Freddy, when they cast him as Freddy,
no, they typecasted him after
exactly. After that, like
he got stuck in the
that
horror
rut.
genre.
Like you don't even know really what he could have been. Really,
That's
Like,
true too.
You know,
That's true.
it's like
I need.
it's
to,
hard to imagine because of the route that
Brought
he
to
went.
you by Highlight.
Okay.
This piss break brought to you.
He was on V.
V.
Yeah, remember that it was like a 3-episode miniseries on NBC back in the 80s.
I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Robert Englund was on there.
Yeah.
Never even heard of it. I don't think.
But then after that, he was Freddy, and then he never went back.
Yeah, he.
Oh, that was
yeah.
before Freddy. Shit.
But yeah, so I gotta say, it just the kills and the most iconic horror kill of all time. One of the most iconic is fucking Johnny Depp getting sucked into a bed,
And then that blood
just
spurting.
spewing out, bro.
That shit is so cool.
And the people almost got electrocuted on filming that because the way the whole thing, it was like a set being turned.
yeah.
So the blood was coming down, and the wires and shit. Yeah, people. Yeah, they said filming that was very fucking dangerous. Like there was the special before any ones that came out recently. There was one on Netflix. I think it was Never Sleep Again or something, where they go through the different movies and talk about shit from behind the scenes, and that was one of them from the first one. Was that a couple motherfuckers almost got electrocuted while filming that scene?
Yeah, bro.
I was like, yo, and the thing is, when you go back and watch it, it's really well shot
Oh,
because the
dude.
creep factor of it,
The
and all.
imagery, like
Yeah.
there's two things for me that make the movie. It's well, I guess Robert Englund too, but
Right.
like the imagery, just like the creepy, like when she's in school and then like the dude's talking in front of the class, and then the way his voice gets deeper when she gets into her dream state and shit. And then she goes walking through the halls and shit like that. Everything that happens
Yeah.
that moment, I'm like all about that.
Yeah.
And then the soundtrack,
Yeah.
the imagery and the soundtrack, the atmosphere. Like all that stuff comes together perfectly, man.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest though, all the stuff in between, like the acting, in particular, the mom.
Yes.
Oh my god,
Yes,
dude!
the mom, bro.
Every time she was on screen, I was laughing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Saxon, John Saxon, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Her dad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he killed it.
Yep.
He did his part.
He did his deal. Yeah.
Heather Langenkamp did her part.
Yep.
You know, the other kids were fine. Tina was,
She called her mother over and over. I'm like, who does that? Who calls him?
Right.
She's like, mother.
Yo,
like there's so much, dude. The dialogue, like in general, I'm like, this movie.
Screw sleep. No. No, but
when she gets gray hair, she has like that big ass strand of gray hair.
but tell me,
it's, like, obviously, like
tell me you did
glued
not
on there.
the one scene though where she comes back at her mom, where she's like, maybe I should just get wasted and veg out on the couch, just like you. Like that shit was like, yo, like damn, she went in on you. Like, yo, mom, you gonna come back?
Hell no, mom was too busy being wasted.
She was.
So something I noticed, it's a little weird. She calls her mother the whole movie, but when she's in the bathtub and she's screaming for her mother, she calls her mom because she's scared. She's like, mom.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought that was interesting. That I don't know why I thought that was interesting, but I was like, it's interesting that like the whole movie, because it's weird that she calls her mother the way she does, and then when she's like freaking out, she's like, mom, and she was more primal about it, I guess.
Yeah, well, and that was the thing, because I think the mother thing was her respectful
Yeah, that's
way
like her. They're like at a
versus
distance,
her
a relationship.
needing
way,
which makes sense. But also the
Mother.
the ending where her body just kind of goes into the bed, the really bad little. The arm comes up. Oh God!
I thought the ending was where she got sucked through the
she
door.
gets sucked through the door, bro.
No, but right before that, like where he's like burning on top of the mom.
Yeah.
You know, and like her dad just kind of like, all right, cool. Tell her about it.
I got nits to pick. Okay,
Right.
There's some major ones though. Okay, because like they have her go to that like those sleep doctors,
And she pulls the
she
hat out.
pulls
of
the
nowhere.
hat out, bro.
Yeah.
and, like, and they have her on camera. They're filming it the way you are,
And nobody thought that was
and it's like, and nobody's like, they're like, honey, really? Like, and the dad doesn't even listen to her and shit. I'm like,
Right.
dude,
Well, no, mom.
she
No,
pulled a hat out of nowhere.
mom. Well, if you
his
listen,
hat.
if you listen to the,
yeah, exactly. Why
Like, she knows what he looked like.
Why didn't anybody
what he
say
dressed
anything?
like.
Like, where did
well,
you get
yeah,
this hat?
that and the cuts too.
And she comes
But,
up to him even as like, you know, do you know Freddy Krueger? She's like, how would you know that shit?
Right. Well, no. That was the whole thing. The scene after though,
crazy.
where her mom, you could hear her on the phone if you were listening. Like you could hear mom on the phone. She's like, I'm holding the damn thing in my hand right now.
Yeah.
Like so, she was already tripped out about it.
But it's on camera.
Right.
She still has to show the dad, and the dad be like, oh shit.
Right. Well, and that's the thing.
And they still didn't believe her.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's
part
like,
that fucked up.
Why are you
Pops-
filming it if you're not going to show it?
Pops didn't show up until the fire started. He's like, oh well, I guess I got to get back over there now. Like
House
shit's
is on fire.
Shit's on fire. Guess I got to do my job.
Bro, how about the guy he had keeping watch?
Yeah, everything's gonna be
Your
okay.
boss's daughter, bro. What are you doing? There's so much in this
Yo.
movie. Like the imagery, like I said, the imagery, the score,
Yeah.
like Freddy Krueger himself.
Well, the thing
It's all
is,
great, but like everything in between, I'm like,
well, the thing is, part of it too, though, I think is too. They try to instill that view of from the kid perspective, like because parents don't always immediately
understand,
believe
like
the
Will
kid,
Smith said.
especially back then. Back then, parents didn't really immediately believe the kid because they're like, "You're just fucking off," you know, like, "Oh, what you're lying."
Just
go
get some
back to your
sleep.
it's a
fucking
perfect
room.
movie for like a 17-year-old, 16-year-old kid to watch because they're like, yeah, you're right. Parents wouldn't listen to me.
Right, but here's the thing, like, because the what proves that is homeboy. She's like breaking the glass, like, get my dad, and he's like, everything's gonna be okay.
Like, of all lines to give him in
And
that
then,
moment.
but she comes like the way
Oh, it
she
looks good.
came back though, and she's
There's, like,
like,
smoke coming out.
I think she says,
Bomb went off.
I think she says, "Screw you, asshole, get my dad," or something like that, or something along those lines, where she fights like right back. She fights.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, so it shows you like kids trying to tell you, hey,
And parents just don't
something wrong,
understand.
and parents like, you're fine. It's just a cut. Don't worry about it. Take these pills. Shut up.
Oh, I want to say this before I forget it. So, when Johnny Depp's listening to the radio, at one point, it goes, you're listening to was it KGKR radio?
Yeah.
And then that's when he goes into the sleep state.
KRGR.
Yeah, KRGR. Yeah,
Kruger.
right. Yeah.
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 Yep.
Pretty
Just
cool.
like in one of the movies, there was a news clipping and it said KRG or something like that. For a
Pretty
new live, or what you call it, live on the scene shit. But yeah, so
Zeb wearing his Ezekiel Elliott jersey.
yo,
For real, had the headphones on.
yo, that was
Back in those days.
That's what I'm saying.
There was no smartphone.
So 80s,
But at least he didn't look like a what is it? The Star Wars creatures, Ewoks.
So
right?
Ezekiel Elliott looks like an Ewok. Let's be real.
Kind of
Shout out
does.
to Highlight,
Kind of does a little bit.
Cigar City,
But,
no sponsorship. This is
so-
the 5th show in a row I've been doing this.
The only other thing too that I really was like, yo, like how do you justify this when he got hung? When Rod Lane got hung in the prison?
yeah.
Right next
Well,
to
because
a
he
wall.
wanted to commit suicide. That's why.
Bro, he couldn't grab a sink. He couldn't. The wall's right there.
He
can't
just
put his foot-
butchered his girlfriend. You got to look at it from a
He
police
probably wanted to
standpoint.
die, man. Yeah, actually.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess that's how they could, rationalize it in their head.
absolutely.
It just still irked me though. Like
Yeah, it
the
irks
way
me, too.
I was like, how can you physically do what he did?
Yeah.
There was
not
no
hard.
physical way of doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't there a poll that he had?
No, because the bars were like way up to where he had nothing to tie it to. Because it got tied outside.
Maybe I'm missing something, but how does Kruger affect the real world to make the?
Well, they explain that in Freddy's Dead.
Um,
In Freddy's Dead, the final 6 film, quote unquote final, because Wes Craven's New Nightmare came out after that, which was a different take, but also really great. But no, and
I thought I was missing something. I'm like, why the
Freddy's
fuck did
Dead.
he-
He's got spirits that he got possessed by, sort of in a sense.
so he can like enter
While he was dying, when he was being burned alive,
Mm.
so he got he let the spirits take over him, and that's why he can haunt
And
people
those-
in their dreams and kill them. But the thing is, they have to be afraid of him. That has been always their kind of gimmick in a sense.
That's how you
Because if
beat
you
'em.
ever watched Freddy versus Jason, they pretty much
Unfortunately.
dog. I love that movie. It was
saw it
I
at the
waited
theater, and I
so
still remember
long
it.
for that movie.
it was
Years.
cheesy and bad on
It was-
purpose.
Shout out to the Virgin Chicken.
I agree with Bo. It was purpose. It was like it was
Campy on
what's the word?
purpose?
Campy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was campy on purpose. It brought both worlds together because immediately in the first 5 minutes of the movie, you get tits, and that's Nightmare
Yeah.
on Elm Street.
Isn't that where he- isn't that where
Friday the 13th.
Is that,
Friday
the,
13th.
is that the same one where he puts him in the camping bag and then like?
No, that's Jason X.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
That was it. But no,
I did
Freddy
see that
versus
one.
Jason. It starts off with Jason getting the first kills, but he's in his deep sleep because
Yeah.
he basically Freddy is a mastermind genius who basically tricks Jason to do his bidding to scare people
I remember.
to then bring him back to give him his power. So he kind of was like Scarecrow based off of fear.
Yeah.
Once they get scared, he gets more power. He then kills them. Just like at the end of the first movie, she figured it out from day one. Like, oh, if I just don't believe in this shit and I big up about it, he's gonna stop. And
You know,
There you go.
You know what I like about Kruger that he has over all the other ones? Well, first, the sleep thing is scary as shit.
Right,
But
'cause
like,
you've gotta sleep.
He hurts himself. Like, he'll cut himself just to show like maggots falling
Right.
out of his arm and stuff. Like, that's something the other ones, like, they don't psychologically come at you that way.
right,
Like,
they just stare at you.
He's like, he's fucking with your head.
Right.
He-
The closest thing to that is Hellraiser, but even so, it's
Hellraiser's
not quite
way
the same.
scarier.
right.
Oh, I
think.
love Hellraiser.
I do too. Hellraiser would be a good one to do. Halloween.
So,
I agree.
favorite scene.
I don't know if I have a favorite scene. That movie's just all around.
But was there a moment that like when somebody mentions it, it's like the first thing you think of?
No, I think about the movie as a general.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw it when I was pretty young.
Hmm.
Between that and Friday the 13th, I was never a big slasher fan, to be honest. But I
Hmm.
did like Freddy a little bit better, just because the idea of him, going into people's dreams was cooler than Jason running around a campground chasing teens.
Right.
I'm a
Easy
Michael
problem
Myers.
solved. Like, don't
you're
go
a
to the
Halloween
campground.
guy.
I'm the shape guy.
Halloween's
Michael Myers.
it's pretty much Jason 2.0.
It
No,
really
he
is.
was
though.
It's a
First.
slasher thing,
He was first. Jason was a copycat.
No, but I mean, like, it's the same idea, is what I mean.
Yeah. Jason. That's the reason they created Jason was because they're like,
Yeah, because
Michael Myers isn't hardcore enough. We got to
Halloween
make a
was
guy
like
that,
79,
will
right?
chase you down.
Yeah, it was like
Dude, yeah, and that was the first Steadicam in a movie. We should review that.
I didn't know that.
we can.
The opening shot where he's a kid and he goes and stabs his sister. That's Steadicam. That's the first time they ever use it in a major motion picture.
All right, and you're
Dropping bombs.
I know because I love Halloween. Like I'll talk about Halloween. For
Yeah,
2
because it
hours.
did follow him all the way from outside to inside.
Yeah.
No take.
It's like one long take, and it's
yeah.
all steady, so you know it's Steadicam. Yeah.
So for you, Nightmare on Elm Street, was there a scene that you always
Definitely
like?
school, man.
The school?
Yeah, when she's in school and she's nodding off, and then like
Oh, her first initial kind of experience with him.
yeah,
Got you.
loved it.
All right.
All that whole sequence and the atmosphere of it, and like
Yes.
the imagery.
That one
going
still
on.
honestly does creep
The body
me out to this
bag and
day.
all that shit?
Yeah, well, especially when the whispering part where he's like, just like,
On. Yes, like everything comes together in that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
That to me is like why I watch. Like that's why I'm glad I watch the movies for moments like that.
yeah. All right.
And that's my favorite one.
For me, it will always be the
Mom gets sucked through the door.
no.
The
Honestly,
obvious dummy.
The part that always kind of fucked with me was when Tina was getting chased through the back alley and his arms got really long.
Oh yeah.
That shit always fucked with me for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm just like, long arms, you can't go that way, you can't go that way because he's got long arms.
Bro, he obviously has broomsticks or something when you rewatch it nowadays.
Yeah.
You're like, it's so corny, but when you're a kid, man, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Like being like, what?
The fuck? All right, Chuck, what's your score? What's your rating?
You guys know that I don't always give the highest ratings.
Right, and that's fine.
Honestly,
Critic's critic.
I love
Right.
horror movies. Slashers aren't my favorite. I'm ignoring that. 7.8.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
Big Red?
I say because of like the franchise it spawned and
Okay.
everything. I mean, like you got to give it credit for stuff that's not even like involved with the actual film by itself.
Right.
Like there's just there's an aura around it, man. So I'd give it like a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I can definitely appreciate the
You know what I
lore.
mean? Yeah, the
And
lore
the,
exactly. Like there's
yeah, I
like
can definitely
there's more
appreciate
than
that.
just the fact that it came when it did, the low budget they had, and what they made out of it at the time.
No, Freddy
You gotta
was-
think, when you watch that, it's like 84. So
Right.
There's some scenes where it's like, damn. There's some scenes
Yeah.
where it's like, holy
And
shit.
I will say for the fact that just kind of came out of nowhere, that movie, or Freddy himself just kind of really established a role in the horror scene.
Yeah.
And he's been able to hold on to that since, for over 30 years. So I do give him that. And to be honest, I could probably bump up my rating if you think about that. And from that sense,
Look, if I'm just rating the movie by itself, I'm probably right with you about 7.8, 7.9.
because I know Wes Craven
because
has
you watch
better,
it, like
personally.
the mom in particular, bro. When she walks out her door and you see her drinking, the way she drinks from the bottle and everything, I'm like,
Yeah.
corny as shit.
Yeah.
Did she have it like hidden under the towels?
Yes.
In the linen closet.
Yes.
Had it in the linen
It's
that
closet.
emergency vodka bottle.
She's like, let me check if mom's in the hallway. She happens to look right when her mom's like, oh, I'm getting my alcohol. Like,
It's the same shit
it's
that
so
killed
corny.
the taxi driver with Albert Brooks,
Yeah.
Well, no,
It's
the
the same
funny
idea.
thing too
It's
is
just
though
of its time, I guess.
when she came
Yeah.
downstairs and she's like, black, it's all black.
Yeah.
It's all black. She was
Dude,
a trip,
this bitch
dude.
had his... She killed this guy,
and kept
and she kept
the
that shit in a
souvenir.
furnace.
yeah, I kept the glove.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Since nobody asked me, my,
Which is
my,
crazy.
my,
Yeah.
my memorable moment of the movie
yeah, what's your memorable?
was when Captain Badass was smashing his girlfriend in the bedroom. Then he went.
Oh, by the way, rapey as fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Then he went to go get. I guess he went to go get her some water or some shit, and Freddy just chopped her up and dragged her all across the ceiling.
No, he was still in the room.
Oh yeah, he was in the room.
just
That's
sleeping.
right.
He was
That's right.
watching it. He's like,
just
holy
sleeping.
shit.
Because he
In his
couldn't do
underwear.
nothing about it after
Right.
she was on the ceiling.
because the doors were locked.
He didn't even give a fuck after she got to the ceiling. He was like, "Well,
Bro,
what I could do."
They got in the door, and he's like, there's no way I'm getting out of this. So he just dipped.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going out the
Like,
window.
especially with how rapey he was. Bro, he literally put his hand over her mouth and shit. Like,
Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do,
we're going
bro.
to the back.
Well, again, it's a different time,
Maybe
man.
she likes that. Who knows?
Exactly,
We don't know
different
that.
time.
How
different
about
time?
Johnny Depp couldn't fuck because of her?
Yeah, poor Johnny
She's
Depp.
trying to like act like she's this guy's a lunatic. Oh my god! And next thing you know, they're upstairs banging. I mean, like when you're a teenager, do you scream like that?
in the 80s.
Take it, daddy! Oh my god! Like it's just fucking so
Some
loud
of
and
them
crazy.
do.
Yeah.
Some of them do. And
Back
what
in
about
those
your
days, yeah.
what about your rating, sir?
I'm gonna give it a 9 because of everything that it established.
Okay, so
Like,
That's
I
me
mean,
too.
honestly, if you think about it, what other horror guy has more clout than Freddy?
Freddy's up there.
Like, I can't think anybody. As soon
I'm
as
a
they
Mike,
say
like I
horror,
said, I'm
the
a
first
Mike
thing-
Myers. I'm Mike Myers because
Like,
he's the
Mike Myers
OG.
is-
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Mike Myers doesn't have his own style.
He does.
he got
his
usurped.
style is no style.
No, he
got usurped.
No, Mike Myers got his. He's got Michael Myers has like the janitor outfit.
Right.
Yeah.
The overall.
Freddy's got the green red striped shirt,
The William Shatner mask.
the fedora,
The fedora, the glove.
the glove. Like he's got a whole entire outfit.
And
Sweater.
I mean, bruh, his personalities
How
throughout
about-
the different
How
dreams.
about that opening? The opening where he's making his knives and shit.
Yeah, where he was
that's
making
really
the
cool.
whole thing together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like every '80s movie had to show you like when they're making their gear, their
Yeah,
outfits.
and they went straight to
It's
it.
the montage before the movie
That's what I was
starts.
thinking. A montage, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't fucking around. But
With the
I-
music. Oh my god.
the I'm gonna have to give it a solid 10
Oh shit.
because I'm
Damn.
just a fan. I'm just a fan.
I mean a perfect 10.
I'm a biased fan. I think it is one of the best horror movies of all time. Timeless, still just as creepy, even with its faults. Just everything about it. And then again, yeah, everything it spawned, his legacy, to the point that there's a fan made film coming, New Nightmare 2. If you remember, Wes Craven's New Nightmare came out, I want to say in the early 90s. I want to say maybe around 92, 93, something
Sounds
around
about right.
around there,
pretty good, too.
where they made him real. He went from the films to real life and came after Heather Langenkamp, who played herself. And the kid, Dylan, her son in the movie, who was also, if I'm not mistaken, on Full House, he's reprising himself as Dylan for this fan-made movie. Like,
Best crossover ever.
Was it like a GoFundMe thing or something?
I believe,
what's it
I don't
called?
know if it's a
Patreon,
GoFundMe or what, but I know it's a fan-based thing, and he's actually on board. Like
crazy.
he's actually himself, the kid Dylan. This is basically him 20, 30 years later.
That's cool as hell. He
you
probably
know.
met him at a fan expo or something. He's like, "Hey man, you want to be in a movie? We're gonna
Right?
Yeah.
So shout out to that. So yeah, I want to get okay. Yeah, we got a good amount of time. Cool. So we're gonna get into fucking Joker now because we still got In the Tall Grass, and I got In the Tall Grass. Like it sucks because both of these have a lot of shit to be discussed, but we're gonna get into Joker.
Well, do you want to do In the Tall Grass first so we can get Dennis on the phone?
We gotta see because I don't know if he's.
Oh, that's true. He might be still doing his
yeah,
thing.
he might
Should do that
be.
last because he's.
Right, we'll save In the Tall Grass for last.
All right.
So the Joker.
Let's talk about Joker.
Let's joke. We all wanted to see this, so not one particular person over another. So, but since Chuck doesn't start stuff recent as much, we're gonna have Chuck start this one.
I don't want to start this shit. I want to make Red start it. He's seen it twice.
I've seen it 3 times.
3 times. All right. Well, you start it then.
I don't even know what to say. I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I really think it's a masterpiece, and I think Joaquin Phoenix. You might as well hand him the Best Actor trophy right now.
He deserves an award for sure for that
Yep.
movie.
It should be at least nominated for Best Picture. But we're talking awards. Like this thing should get awards, man.
Best supporting actor.
And it's his
not
punk-
supporting, but lead actor.
It's
rather.
it's a very very punk rock movie.
Yeah.
In that like it takes political stereotypes from both sides and it just tears them down. And I mean in the opening in the trailer actually you'll see it like he's holding up a sign that says all things must go, or what's it say? Well, like for when you have a sale,
Oh,
all
yeah.
things must go.
Oh, the sale sign.
Yeah. I feel like that's
Everything must
I feel
go.
like that's the political. Everything must go. Damn, I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
Everything must go. I feel like that's the political philosophy of the movie, where it's like we're about to tear down the left and the right, and it's gonna be a little Rorschach test for each side, coming away with what they think it is, but it isn't either. It's just chaos. It's just society sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really did
You know
point
what I
that
mean?
out though.
I mean, yeah, that was
And-
one of the big focuses: mental illness and society. And
Yeah.
when you put those two together, it's basically what you get.
Get the Joker.
And they nailed the mental illness because you
Mm-hmm.
watch his descent into him, his own inner chaos, and you could see the torment in his eyes, and you can watch him just break down, and you watch him laugh uncontrollably, and he can't stop.
Right.
He wants to, but he can't.
And
he nailed
fun
it.
fact for those who, because we're going full on spoiler, like everything's happening.
Spoiler the fuck out of
Spoil.
this.
So at this point, we gave you just a taste that you can see in the
We are
trailer.
never spoiler free except for the Spider-Man review.
So at this point, you might want to turn away because we about to get real into shit, and maybe come back in like
There's a reason the media is attacking this, by the way.
But so all right,
Another
you guys
slippery
got
slope.
like 5 seconds
They
left.
don't want this shit to succeed, bro.
5 seconds left until
Tearing down narratives.
so we about to tear the shit down.
Tear down.
All right.
And go.
All right. So, his laughter is an actual mental illness brought upon what happened to him as a child, which you learn towards the end of the movie, which was pretty fucking crazy. I kind of suspected a little something, but like how they went into it, fucking insane. But the thing is, I actually saw, I don't know if it was on ABC or what, but I saw a interview with a couple, and this is a real life couple, and the husband has this condition where he can't control himself and he will laugh at shit that is just, it's an involuntary, it's just like Tourette's in a sense,
Right.
where it's an involuntary reaction.
Emotional response.
Yeah, and your
And that's
body
all- yeah.
is basically like, hey, I want to laugh now. Or if you're stressed or tense, or if you're supposed to be sad, everything's just laughter, you know. And
It's as common as like even I personally make and crack jokes in sad moments and tense moments just because that's how I deal with it. But this
Right.
is just an extreme version of that.
right,
Yep.
legit, just uncontrollable laughter.
Yes.
Like, which I was wondering how they were going to do his laugh, because that's one of the things about Joker, the laugh. Like, everybody's had their own version of it.
He had 3 different laughs in that movie.
Right. Exactly. And the pain in his eyes when he was laughing,
That scene sold me.
like he
Where he was laughing on the exterior, but inside you can see the tears. Like you can see like the
Yes.
sadness in his eyes.
Yeah.
you
when
see
he's
the
laughing.
torment.
Yes.
Yeah, on I don't know if you could see that on your feed on your.
I don't know if you can see eyeballs through that
talking shit.
bullshit video.
I don't know if you could see the clearness.
You can't see his eyes through the
Like,
fucking
I don't
bootleg.
know if your bootleg.
I don't know. It looked pretty good when we were watching it, right?
He said that his
I mean,
notebook was in Russian, you know.
Yeah, the first time I watched it was Russian. This actually copy was in Italian.
His notebook that he keeps, you know. It's
Yeah,
all
in
Russian.
the actual movie, when he looks at his notebook where his jokes are,
no.
depending on the bootleg, it was in Russian. The first time I watched it, this time was in Italian.
Yeah, it was either Italian or like
Yeah, it was
Portuguese.
Italian.
Oh, it was Italian?
Yeah, because I
Okay.
saw at the end it said "grazie,"
Oh, okay.
That
so I was
is
like, "That's
hilarious.
Italian."
Wow.
Yeah, it was a
Joaquin
great.
Phoenix apparently actually did that journal himself. Like the director gave it to him, and he was like, "Take it home." And then like apparently Joaquin sat down with it, and he's like, "I don't even know what to start with." And he called Todd Phillips, and Todd Phillips sent him a poem or something, some short story. I can't remember what it was, but he sent him something that's like inspiration. He's like, "Read this and then do it." And then apparently like he just went fucking off with the thing, like weeks making that thing.
Yeah, and I mean, like that scene at his stand up, you know, like
That's
when
a pretty powerful scene.
it really was like just how he couldn't stop. He could not stop because he was nervous as fuck. So that with anything from what I could tell from his condition was that any type of stress, good or bad,
It makes you laugh.
he's uncontrollable laughter. So he's trying to tell a joke, but he's nervous, so he starts laughing and he can't stop.
Before he even says much of anything. He says
Right.
like a few words and kind of
Can you imagine that, though?
You
Have
can't go to
funerals.
funerals. and
any
shit.
type of emotional whether you're embarrassed, because it even happened when he was embarrassed when the chick told him to stop messing with his
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was embarrassed and he just started laughing.
It's because
That's when I first picked up on it. I said, "Ooh,
It's because there's
okay."
an emotional response, and
Yeah.
your body doesn't know how to like.
But in-
He couldn't
that's where,
process
like
it.
neurologically shit goes
The
haywire.
one difference in that scene and between the two scenes is on the bus, he's able to hand her the card that explains that
Right.
he
Yeah,
has
that
a
explains it.
condition.
Yeah.
Whereas he's going on stage
in Italian.
He can't. Well, depending on
You
your
can't be like,
bootleg,
read
yes.
this to everybody.
But on stage, he doesn't have that thing, so he's just
Yeah.
laughing in front of these strangers, you know, and he can't stop.
Yeah.
you know, it's a completely different feel.
His little
but, yeah.
voices, the way he like does his mom's voice and stuff.
Oh yeah.
it's so
No, you could see that he kind of compartmentalizes. Like he definitely revels his mother to a degree. He loves her.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, which
Especially
we'll get to
in
in a
the-
second, or when we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could tell that he has that
And that's
within
before
him.
the big spoilers happen. So
Yes.
like he really loves her. And,
Oh, yeah,
In
he
his
does.
dream when he's on the Maury show, he's like, I really love my mother, and he's like talking about like how I'm the man of the house, and
Yeah.
like I mean like really like he's prideful in that.
It was almost downright awkward too.
Yeah. Well, when he was sitting in bed with her, I'm like, that was just.
Yeah, it
like,
was
I'm
kinda
like,
weird,
this is
too.
getting weird. But just the overall, like how you could see they're trying to show you both sides to where what he's seeing it versus what's actually happening.
the reality.
Right.
Like I like how they balanced it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know his excursion with the lady down the hall.
Domino.
I'll be Domino. I'll be honest. I knew kind of, spoiler, I knew kind of from like early that.
Yeah, me and him.
too.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I told him earlier.
I was
before the
like,
show started.
I kind of knew right off rip. I'm like, nah, he's just kind of.
That's actually my one problem with the movie, and that's why it's not a 10 for me. I think it's a masterpiece, but like it's going to be like a 9.8-ish or something because of that.
I knew immediately like, nah, there's no.
See, now did you think
they do all the tropes?
Did you think the mom was alive? For a while, I didn't think so.
Yeah,
I always kind of
Damn.
thought she did, to be honest.
yeah.
I
I
can understand where you're coming from, though.
Right,
Because he kind of was sitting there with her, but there was no real interaction.
He would have had
Right,
to have
yeah.
learned about Bruce.
It was very, like,
or about
one-dimensional.
Thomas Wayne being his father before she died, I guess.
But he still could have
Like-
imagined all of that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
but no, I
You
think
could, you could do that for the whole movie. Honestly,
I think
Like,
really,
that's true.
though-
When we watch
Dude,
it,
That's
over
a
and over-
completely different interpretation.
Dude,
too.
when he hopped in the fridge,
Shout out to
Oh,
Aruba.
yeah, and he pulled out all
that
the
had absolutely nothing. That
shells.
was what was the
Yeah.
point in that scene?
that's just mental illness, bro.
Yeah,
mental illness,
I loved
yeah.
it though. I was
Me
just
too.
like, I fucking love this.
It's like he's trying to hide away from the world so much. He's alone in his own place. His mom's dead. He killed her, and then he's still like, I got to get away to the point where I got to tear out these drawers.
Yeah.
dude. There's a moment when he's about to tear out the last one, the top one. He's like, no, I can fit in here, and then he gets.
Well,
in there.
I think too, though.
I think that was almost improvised. I kind of feel like it was,
it
and he
had to
just
be.
played
I
it
think
off.
He's had a
partially,
camera on him and shit, like, go,
I
Joaquin,
think,
go.
I think it was partially more so too that I don't know. I feel like there was a heat to his madness almost.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
overheated.
You know, and like he was just
That
like,
can make sense.
I can't.
I got you. Yeah.
I can't.
Because when you get stressed out, you get hot.
Right.
Right.
So all the laughing, the muscle contractions, and everything,
Right.
like the best way to cool down. What makes sense is is getting in there, but it makes sense in that I need to disappear, and I need to cool down. So why not the fridge? Which that shit, yeah, that and his initial first kill.
You talking about the subway scene?
Yes.
So in this scene, there's three guys that are kind of harassing a woman that's sitting in a seat directly across from them. They're clearly drunk, you know. Start throwing French fries at her.
Fucking Wall
trying
Street
to-
guys. I
Yeah.
think she was homeless.
I don't know if she was or
No,
not.
she was-
so.
she was
I don't
dressed
think I got
up,
that
bro.
feel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She was
I thought
reading-
she was
was
because I
reading a
figured
book.
that's why they were throwing
yeah.
the food at her.
She was reading a book.
She was like,
they were just drunk
on her way
assholes.
home from a late shift or something.
You probably
Right,
couldn't tell
yeah.
the stylus of her clothes because of your version of the film.
Wow, my bootleg.
Yeah.
Like I could. It just.
You're like,
changed.
damn, rags. She's in rags.
Yeah. it's just- you know
She
what?
got necklaces and shit.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I can't argue that. I can't argue it.
Why is she wearing a trash bag?
Sustained. Sustained.
But
You win this round.
They're They're throwing French fries at her. They're drunk assholes. They're harassing her, and he starts laughing. Joker starts laughing.
Right.
What's his name? Alfred. Alfred.
yeah,
Alfred
Peck.
He
no,
starts,
Arthur.
Arthur, yeah, Arthur.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
Arthur.
think is,
Right,
I think
I-
there's a reason for his name,
I
honestly.
couldn't remember his first name.
Arthur Fleck.
Arthur.
Think about it.
Arthur Fleck. Right.
Arthur is a king, which he by the end becomes basically in his own
Right.
mind, at least.
Yeah.
Arthur Fleck.
And then Fleck is like a fucking little fucking society cat, like Fleck.
I like how you break things down to like.
Well, think about it, man.
Yeah. Now it
Arthur
makes
Fleck.
sense. He's a king, but you're a king of the nothing.
He's equally both things. And the only way he becomes Arthur is through violence. Violence is the only thing that calms him down, where he's not like.
But also,
he dances after he does violent acts,
and
he's
also
able
his
to
mom
control
named
himself.
him Arthur because
Yeah.
she assumed because
Yep.
of the dad that she
Yep.
thought was like, man, I'm telling you,
Well,
Penny.
She
Her name,
thought-
what's her name?
Penny,
Penny.
Fleck. Nothing.
like nothing of the nothing.
Nothing of the nothing. He's the king of the nothing.
I love it. That's great.
But this scene, though,
Yeah.
where he is in the subway, he starts laughing uncontrollably, and they start harassing him, like, why is this so funny, clown? You know, you're a clown, why is this so funny? And they eventually get to the point where they shove him down, they're beating the shit out of him. he pulls out a gun, which we forgot to mention initially that he got a gun from. We'll get there. We'll go back and cover that. But he has a gun on him, and he ends up shooting 2 of them. He shoots the one initially on the train.
2 of them are in self-defense.
2 of them self-defense. The third one, he actually got off at the next stop and chased him.
Yep.
Got him as he was going up the stairs and maliciously chased him down and shot him.
Yep.
And ran out of bullets and just kept still.
And the best part about that scene,
I fucking love that scene.
is he not only did he use the entire clip, he ran away. He found a random bathroom in it looked like a park.
Yeah.
Runs in
started
there.
dancing.
I think he closes the door, locks it.
Beautiful
And then he
scene.
starts dancing. And just
interpretive dance.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was like he was
Right.
reveling in
Like
the
a Joker
moment
movie.
that just he finally
brilliant.
snapped,
Right.
and he felt more comfortable than ever. And you can tell that
he
he's actually
embraced it.
truly a social.
Ain't that some shit though? I like that interpretation too
great
because
scene.
you are not comfortable until you can dance.
Right.
Exactly. Every time he
Like they say,
violence,
dance
every
like
time he commits a
nobody's
violent
looking.
act, he's calm. And
But
he
the fact that
he
he-
can control his body to that point.
Right.
But
The-
when he's trying to go ahead,
I'm sorry, I was gonna say the fact that he killed 3 people and then wanted to dance afterwards. Yeah, sorry,
you've
didn't
never-
you know, I actually read that originally they were going to make it where he just goes in the bathroom and hides the gun and throws it in the toilet, and he doesn't know, he's freaking out. Apparently, Joaquin Phoenix went to the director Todd Phillips.
And he's like, nah.
And he was like, "What if we did this?" And he's like, "You really want to dance? You think this is the time to do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I think it would be-"
Absolutely.
And to me, it's what I think is the best scene.
It's the weirdest mixture of being morbid and cathartic at
Yeah,
the same
dude.
time.
Yeah.
You know,
You're in his mind, and it's
Exactly.
he's coming to, man. You know what I like though? It's not a moment in particular. It's the whole because he goes back to his normal life a little bit after
Yeah.
that, and then he slowly goes.
because
He slowly. Usually in movies, there's a moment, and then he's then he's Joker. But I feel like some of it that was awesome about this movie was that that transition kind of happened over time.
Right.
It wasn't
No, it wasn't like
Immediate.
a drop of the hat or anything.
Yeah.
And his dance in
tried to
particular
hide it.
was more like a Tai Chi kind of move as opposed
Right.
to just dancing.
Like doing
And
a
then
jig.
after
Exactly.
that's when you started to realize, oh, he's not really with that chick,
yes.
Domino girl.
Right.
So it's kind of like
No,
it snapped him out of his
my big
fantasy
my
world.
big issue
we
with the
do
movie.
need to backtrack about how he got to the gun
so
in the first place.
he as he did work as an actual clown, doing legit work.
He was a
for
signs
guy.
flipper.
Yeah, and he
and other random assorted gigs.
one of the guys gave him a gun because of the kids
His
stealing
name
his
is Randall.
sign.
He's an important character.
and they whooped his ass.
Yeah, and the kids.
See, now I thought originally that he made that up too when the guy gave him the gun.
no,
Because
no.
when he had called him out later on in the movie, he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't give you a gun."
That's true. He did say
Yeah,
that.
but why did he go to his apartment then?
right,
Because when he kills him, he
true,
goes to his
true,
apartment. He's like,
true.
"I just want to get our story straight."
right,
Okay.
exactly.
Because I thought about
That's
it too.
true.
I thought they were going just to check on him.
I was right there with Serge. I thought did he make that up in his head? Because it is weird.
Yeah,
I
who,
don't know.
who just gives you a gun out of nowhere?
He's not a reliable narrator at all. So
Yeah.
you're the whole time you're what's real, what's not. That's something.
Yeah.
That's something. I was right there with Serge where I'm like, maybe he just was trying
Well,
to buy the gun
I mean,
and he didn't give it to him the way he did.
right? No,
Or
but
maybe he stole it from him. Even
he definitely gave it to him.
I agree.
there's-
I think it went down the way it did because why would he go to his apartment to get the story straight?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
True,
yeah.
So, and in that same token, that's when he was given his ammunition. But also, I feel like obviously everything that led to him losing his job because of the gun falling out at one of his performances.
Which was
and it was a
Which
children's
was the
hospital.
children's hospital. yeah.
Children's hospital.
And the way he reacts to is hilarious.
Yeah.
The way he hides it, he just sits there. I died laughing.
Like he thought it was nothing. Like
And then he
oh,
just puts his finger up to his lips and just goes,
yeah,
Right.
like, they're
like
not
he
gonna
dropped
tell.
his keys or something.
Yeah.
Right. Like, no, that's a
No,
gun.
that's a gun.
It makes
sorry.
me wonder if he actually improvised that,
Right.
or if that was actually part of the script.
That's a good possibility.
Because Joaquin is
Well, that's why
of
he
that
got
caliber
fired, you know
where
what
he
I'm saying?
could be.
Well,
improvising
and
scenes.
and
Well, yeah,
another
he did get
and another
fired for
thing
that.
Yeah, he
too,
got
though,
fired for it, so I
is
think it's a
that,
part of the script.
that I want to touch on though is that it does focus on the aspect of the mental illness, but the part that kind of hit that I was just like, damn, is when the lady, his therapist, was basically like, yeah,
Are you
They're-
talking about the therapist or the
the
caseworker?
caseworker therapist lady, with the lady he was
Because
basically
there's a technical therapist.
She has a
too,
psychiatrist
that's
at the
completely
end.
or psychiatrist rather.
and then
yeah
the other one's a caseworker, like you said.
yeah.
yeah.
And
How
they look
the-
pretty similar, but I think they did that on purpose. To,
You mean they weren't the same person?
that's the thing. I think they purpose. I don't think they are.
I thought they were the same person.
I know, man.
What the
I think
one?
they're the same person.
The one from the end?
Yeah, the one.
No,
at the
there
end.
was. There was the same chick.
I know, man.
Yeah, because she got
but
upset because they cut her
I think
funding.
I think it's ambiguous though. I don't think it's like a definite either way because she doesn't. It's not the same actress. It's a different actress, but they look very similar.
Right.
And it looks like they aged her, right? Like at the end, it looks
I don't know.
like
I
she's
watched
aged.
the bootleg. I can't
He
tell
looks
you.
like he's aged too, man.
Everybody looks
All right,
fucking
let me tell you what
aged.
happened. Let me tell you what happened in Dolby Digital, where the blacks are perfect.
Right. the blacks.
The blacks-
That's $5 I've ever
Blacks are
spent on a movie,
darker,
by the
the
way.
audio's better. There's no
Hey,
heads
take
in
it
the
out, by the way.
corner.
It does say that.
It's not. It's an
It really
American.
does
It's not
say
in
it.
Russian.
Bo was laughing at me.
I was like, yo, it really does.
Bo and I looked at each other like, oh shit, it actually does say
Right.
that.
But no. Like, so my thing was
this was black before.
How-
This is the new black.
how they actually like literally basically said fuck you, even though this man had a obvious crazy case. They're just like, you get no more help.
But that's America.
No,
Exactly.
That was total social statement.
Yeah,
And that's
that
exactly
is,
that's
yeah.
the part that I was just like, damn, they
Yeah.
really are like, okay.
I love when
I
they
see
did
what y'all
that.
doing. Like
No,
that
they didn't hold back.
No,
And I
they
respect them for
did
that.
not at all. And I definitely, I knew Joaquin was gonna kill it. I didn't think it was gonna be like that.
See, but the political stuff, what I love about it is they turn
Yeah.
everything on its head a little bit because he's supposed to be like the big thing they were saying. This is going to give incels more fuel to the fire, kind of thing, and white dudes that feel like they're not where they once were, kind
Exactly.
of thing, and like they're going to come back and lash out and use this as fuel to the fire, kind of thing. And it's like they do that, but what's he do? He kills Wall Street,
Yeah,
people, and
Yeah.
like he does. So like it's like both narratives coming together in a weird way that
Right.
kind of nullifies both of them, kind of in a
Right.
weird way. And like he ends up like Antifa. And they kind of like they have the resist signs and stuff. They kind of look like them instead of like what are those V for Vendetta mask Guy
Fawkes.
Fox. There you go.
Yeah.
They had like instead of Guy Fawkes masks, they were like clown masks.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like he becomes the leader of the left movement, but he kind of is the incel stereotype that all these right winger or all these left wingers are like talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like it's crazy how it all comes together, and like they kind of turn everything on its head. Like your narrative isn't necessarily
Well, see, and I can understand that, but I think more so it was a statement about Gotham itself because we still have to keep in mind this is set in Gotham.
Yep.
And
That
I
created
think
Batman,
it
Joker,
was
all this shit.
I think Joker was the catalyst of everything, like in the sense of
What is that?
Yeah, what is that squeaking door, by the way? That's driving me
Bro,
crazy.
It just freaked me out.
Ghost, man.
It's been going on
Deal
for
with
like
it.
2 minutes now.
It's the
Sergio,
next,
who's out
it's
there,
the
man?
next unit.
The next unit?
I'm scared.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the idea of basically bringing the city into madness.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what he did effectively
Super
is
rats.
go on to the fucking national television and spoiler blows.
Yo, no, that was the
this
dopest
dude-
fucking.
No,
Dude,
no.
wasn't it though?
Hold on. We're gonna get to that in a second here, but because I disagree. But it was definitely the one of the cherries, like one of the nails in the coffin of the movie, the scene where he kills De Niro, like just straight up pulls the gun out, blasts him while he's sitting right there, like in front of everybody, like establishing himself.
That was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
There's no.
What do you get when you cross a loner? That joke. Man.
Yo.
That's what I said.
Society
You get
treats them
what
like
you
trash.
deserve.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
get what you fucking deserve.
sugarcoating that scene whatsoever.
No.
It was pretty brutal.
But
It was
also,
awesome.
he was not going into the show with that mindset.
No.
He
Right.
wanted to kill himself.
Yeah,
And they even
Yeah.
show him in the green room. He's
Yeah.
like, got the gun right here. He's thinking, oh, this is how it's going to go.
This is
You
how
know
it's
what?
gonna
I
look.
watched it
He
again.
called him
thinking,
out,
like,
too.
what's the moment where he turned? I think it was when
dude started
he
talking
pulls
that
out
shit
the
to me.
book. He pulls out the notebook and he looks at it and he goes, knock, knock. And he goes, you had to pull out your notes for that.
Yeah.
I think, and the way he looks at him,
Yeah, because
I
he was
think that
just
was
like,
the moment where he's like, you know
because
what?
he also
I'm gonna kill this
put
motherfucker.
he put this guy on a pedestal. Like that was his
Yeah.
favorite nighttime.
Exactly.
Everything he said, he would tear him down with jokes.
Yeah.
And I think the knock knock joke, if you rewatch it,
Yeah.
you can kind of see it in his eyes.
He's like, all right, bitch, now
But
you
the
got
best
to
thing
die.
about his little, what do you want to call them? Like his fallacies, his visions that he sees,
Right.
is that they're so grandiose and childish at the same time.
Yep.
You could tell that he's not all there.
Yep.
Right.
And I think they really sold it in that sense too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They don't make him. They make him a hero in the movie,
He's kind of like
but
an
as an audience
anti-hero.
member, you're supposed to be like, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
like Taxi Driver.
No, he's definitely my hero. Like, I was all for that.
but it's like Taxi Driver, where
Like,
you're like,
shoot that motherfucker in the head. Do it now. He's talking shit. He's been talking shit to you the whole time. He brought you on the show because he was talking shit about
Sergio's
you.
an
Just so he
incel.
can talk shit about you to your face. Shoot that motherfucker.
Exactly. And you know, like that immediately after, because you know he runs out of there, and just him basically starting a riot.
No,
you
he
know?
grabbed the camera.
Yeah.
When he grabbed the camera,
you know what he was gonna say, right?
So
So
he
cool.
pops De Niro's character, then he walks up to the camera. Yeah.
and he says De Niro's closing line.
Yes.
Which was, I said, dude, that was so
that's
cool.
life.
Yep.
That was so
That's-
fucking cool.
And I love that they played the song in the movie.
Yeah.
too.
No, what I love
That's-
is how they
Yeah.
did it because they made it look like how it would be if that shit happened in real life.
Yeah.
They show all the TV screens with all the different news coverages talking about this
Yep.
guy just got killed.
You got
Like, that shit
Colgate
was
commercials.
so fucking
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Energizer Bunny coming in
No,
there.
and,
I think,
like,
I can't remember what they were, but they were like it was a bunch of like bullshit.
Yeah.
Um,
And news coverages.
Consumerism.
That shit was so
crap
cool.
going on,
well, and that too,
capitalism.
and the fact that you see him starting obviously Bruce onto the path of Batman,
Right.
because you see the classic, you know, spoiler, classic scene of Bruce losing his parents for like the gajillionth time.
Pretty much.
Like,
Which I didn't mind because I felt like thematically you needed it.
well, that, but
But they
how
kept it also
smooth-
traditional to Batman.
Right,
Too.
they
Exact-
kept
the
it
pearls and
traditional,
everything.
Yes.
smooth, and also swift.
It was.
It was
It
pretty cool.
was-
It was
wasn't-
to the
yeah.
point. It wasn't
Too
dragged
much.
out at
And he
all.
said, he repeated the line back to him. He said, "You get what you fucking deserve."
Right.
Before he shot.
That right there, I was just like, yo, okay, so they basically start the madness with the push from him doing what he did. And honestly, him, you know, the car crash, him getting out of the cop car and everything and being raised up almost, like carried, you know, like...
Well, I'm so glad
And-
they didn't lay him down like Jesus on the car.
Right,
They just kind of
right,
laid him
yeah.
down.
I felt like
so
that
worried
was
they were gonna
coming,
do that.
though.
It's like,
Yeah.
don't do that,
I
don't
felt
do that,
like
don't
that
do
was
that.
coming,
Don't
though.
do it.
I
Don't
really
do
did.
this thing.
But honestly, I love that visual of like where he gets up and
Oh,
then
dude.
he gets on and he sees the blood and he uses the blood to create his smile.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
and he's
You can
just
tell almost
standing
like,
there.
Oh, that hurts. And then he's like, and he creates a smile out of it.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He takes his blood and he just slowly wipes it up the sides of his mouth. It makes
Yeah.
it like the why so serious kind of smile, but Joaquin's
Exactly.
version, and it was
And the way he
it was
does
so,
that little dance, and it's in
Yes.
slow
It's
motion
that
a
same
little
Tai
bit.
Chi kind of just like
The
Zen
score.
dance.
Right.
Yeah.
The score, dude.
He was so at peace with himself.
I've been
in
listening
moment.
to that. It's there's a so on the soundtrack. It's the last song. It's called "Call Me Joker," and it's every time I hear that moment, I get like almost teary in my eyes, man. Like
Yeah.
the way that it builds up, and you hear that cello because
Yeah.
it's a cellist. Have y'all seen Chernobyl? The show
Yeah,
Chernobyl.
that's a great show.
I
the
need to watch
the
that.
same composer did the. I mean, if you listen to it, you're like, oh, of course it is the same.
Yeah.
yeah, same exact. The music sounds so similar.
yeah. So, it was a really fucking good movie.
It was fantastic.
If it doesn't get nominated or wins an award, I'm gonna be pretty fucking blowed because
Are you going to start a riot?
I don't start right.
Put on your clown mask. Let's get out
Not
there.
doing all that. But it definitely.
So 2009. It's all about Joker now.
Well, I mean, it
I want that
just
specific mask though, the one that he's got hanging on off his mirror and everything.
Oh, the one
that
that's
the
like,
dude's wearing.
that you see on
Right.
the
where
subway
he grabs
and
it, and he
stuff.
puts
But,
it on. Yeah,
Yeah.
real quick because I want to get through this because I definitely want to talk about in tall grass. So
how much time we got?
We got like 18.
We also started late. Like
Right.
almost
So
10
we got a
minutes late.
couple after, but the scene. What I was going to say, my favorite scene, and I think was one of the ones that kind of stole it in the sense of really capturing him as the Joker, was that moment where Homeboy did come to check on him and be like,
Oh,
"Yo,
Randall and,
what's up with the gun?"
Yeah, that was the best. That was
and
the
he
most Joker scene.
fucking
Yeah,
got him.
That was Joker through and through. That
Right,
was-
because of one, how calculated it was.
It was.
Yes.
Yes.
Because he already knew the moment he walked through the door, he knew what he was about to do.
He did
Because
that
he went
chain.
and locked the door,
Yep.
and the little shorter guy came in, the midget dwarf.
That shit was so cool.
He
Dope, man.
straight up fucks Randall up, kills him in cold blood,
Goes straight
right
for the
there,
neck.
straight for the neck, fucked him up, and no hesitation to it. And I loved it because I was like, "That's Joker." Because immediately right after, he doesn't kill the other guy like a mass
Say,
murderer.
Go ahead, leave.
And I will admit, when that scene happened, I was sitting there for a second, like, now did this happen, or did he imagine
Did
it?
he imagine it? Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was
But he
thinking
fucking
too.
did it.
Right.
But he had that breaking point earlier when he did the
Right.
first kill, so I
Right.
kind of figured everything.
But that's the thing about the movie. The entire time you're questioning, like,
Yeah.
how
Right.
much of this is actually happening? How much of this is him imagining?
dude, when
this?
he let the little guy go, and
and he gave
That
him a
scene,
the
yes.
jump scare
Dude,
gave him
that
on his
was
way out.
amazing.
and he
You
kissed
heard me?
him on the head.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Joker's fuck.
No,
Exactly.
but what is
Exactly.
the hilarious part was he had the chain lock on the door.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude! I was
He's like,
crying.
Can you get this for me? I was like, oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, I was so
Dude,
that-
everything about
But
it.
that
was
made
so
me
Joker.
fucking love him,
But it
dude.
was
Right.
so tense at the same time because you're like, is he
Is he
actually
gonna
let
kill him?
out?
Yeah. Is he gonna kill him? Yeah.
He literally
Right.
jumped at him while he was walking by. He's
Yeah.
like, "Don't look at him," and you could tell, dude. The first thing he tells him,
I fucking love that scene.
the first thing
yeah.
he tells him, he's like, "You know the Maury show? I'm gonna be on it tonight."
Yeah.
It's like, huh? Like, yeah. He's just so.
He's
his
just
mind,
shamelessly promoting his,
Yeah.
thing, and like it's no big deal. I didn't.
But
kill
what
this
I
guy.
loved
And
is
then,
that-
and then he walks. He's like, "Just don't look at it," because he's freaked out because he's like, "Ah!" And he's like, "Don't look at it. Just walk past. You can leave."
Yeah.
And then as he walks past, he goes, "Ah!" Like it's so Joker.
it's the final scare, you know.
It's so Joker, man.
No,
And
but
then he
what I
goes-
loved about it is that like the little guy never did nothing to him.
right.
right.
So he respected that. He said, "All right, go
Yeah.
ahead. You're good."
Well, yeah.
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 It
But he's
shows
still gotta
that
fuck with his
shred
head.
of humanity.
Yeah.
That's with
Right.
you, Joker.
That's why I fucking love Joker.
Exactly.
Like-
He's the true chaotic, neutral, chaotic. Like
He's
bad,
literally
you
the
know?
only character in the movie that was nice to him.
right.
Yeah,
Like everybody
yeah,
else
yeah.
had some other agenda in mind, or
Yeah,
they
even
had like
his
a
own
sly
mom.
comment or something. He was the only one because he's a midget and he's getting all them jokes himself.
Right.
Like that motherfucker was.
And
So,
even
he's like,
it's
he's like,
still-
what do you call mini golf? Is that just regular
is
golf?
it just
to you?
regular golf to you?
Like, he
but
gets the same
if you
shit.
think
That was
about it,
pretty
though,
funny though.
It was
kind of
dude
funny.
laughed. Dude, he laughed at him when he did that.
Yeah.
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 So that's why I was kind of like,
but
but
that's
did he
the
laugh
thing.
at
But
him,
then he
though?
laughed.
because
I
when
don't
he
think.
hit that corner, that's when he stopped laughing.
But thing
I don't
is,
think it was a
he laughed,
genuine
though.
laugh. I think because
he was just nervous.
His condition.
because he was walking around the corner, ha 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 ha, and he's like buttoning
But
his
that's the
shirt.
best thing about that, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into this now. I was talking to Serge about this earlier. I was watching this thing with Todd Phillips, the director.
Yeah.
And he has 3 distinctive laughs in the entire movie. At the end of the movie, he's sitting with the psychiatrist,
Yo.
and she says, "What's so funny?" And he says,
You wouldn't get
"You
it.
wouldn't get it."
Yep.
That is his true laugh. Because he,
Well, he
has,
says, "I was thinking of a joke," and she says, "What is it?" And he says, "You wouldn't get it."
Exactly. And he's laughing, but that's his true laugh.
Yep.
Because he has his laughter when he's in that he can't control. When he's on the doing a stand up, when he's in public, he just
Right.
does that awkward laugh, I can't stop kind of thing. And then he has his I'm in public, someone's cracking a joke, I don't know how to
Yeah, you don't know how to
sound
process.
natural.
Yeah.
So he does
Exactly.
his laugh when he's walking down the hallway.
he's got,
and he
like,
just
social
stops and cuts it
anxiety.
off when he turns the corner.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that's how he should sound in public.
Well, he's,
Right.
his
He
brain's
doesn't
not
know
going as
how.
wild when he's out of the room.
He doesn't know
Right.
how
yeah,
to blend
like once
in.
he got out, it's crazy.
I could dig that, dude. That's like I got a little bit of social anxiety, so I could dig that.
Everybody,
Yeah, but you don't laugh like that either.
Yeah,
True.
but you kind of
We
you
used- we
kind
got
of
lu-
like
we got
should I
lucky, you
laugh
know?
type of shits.
We
Like
don't
one of them
have
deals were like,
Tourette's
yo,
or-
how do I handle
Right.
this situation?
Well, think about the scene where he's in the comedy club and he's watching the comedian. That laugh is that same. I don't know how to react.
no, but did you notice that though?
Okay, so
He
I have
only
a lot.
la-
I have
he
a lot to
laughed
say
so
about
much.
this.
Listen, during that scene, he laughed when nobody else was laughing, and when everybody else was laughing, he was
Yes,
quiet.
So,
exactly.
Serge, so, dude, this is like an awesome interpretation of how the Joker becomes so sadistic and crazy, in my opinion. So, like, he laughs at moments. He's literally writing down notes like sex jokes equal funny.
Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
he doesn't understand humor totally. Like he doesn't totally understand what makes people tick, what makes them laugh. He laughs at weird times.
Yeah.
Which is like so. It
I
just
picked that up.
You think about like the Joker you know and love, where he's just like a madman, sadistic. He laughs at the most inappropriate shit or
Yeah.
whatever. It's kind of like a cool way to make that character what he is.
Yeah, he didn't know.
As an origin,
he didn't
you know
know
what I'm saying?
because like the punchline wasn't there, but he was laughing during the story instead of the punchline.
Because he doesn't
Yeah.
know how to
Yeah,
react
he
to
doesn't
the normal
understand-
social cues
That's a-
whatsoever.
He's
I think
right.
he's to me. I think he passed Heath Ledger as far as the best Joker.
damn. I love that,
Ooh,
man.
I don't know about that.
I think he
Yeah,
did.
that's a tough
Because
call.
I had watched the one with Heath literally like a day before I watched that one, so it was fresh.
I think it's so hard to compare.
It's really hard to compare.
Like,
That's
one's
two
a
completely different styles of
full-fledged
Joker.
Joker, and the other one's like the origin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he's not even like it's more of a character study. Whereas like in the Dark Knight, he's there. He's 20
He's-
minutes total screen time.
He's already the
20
criminal
minutes in a
mastermind.
2-hour movie.
Yeah.
2.5-hour movie.
He took that movie apart too. Like
And like, but every time he showed up, he was like the way that Chris Nolan said it. He's like, we wanted this to be like the shark in Jaws, or in Silence of the Lambs when you have Hannibal Lecter
Right.
show up. He's just like when he comes in and you hear that music because they had an awesome score for The Dark Knight.
They
Yep.
did.
Yeah.
It's like
yes.
it's like 2 notes. It was,
and it just goes higher.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, it was 1 note.
No, but did you
There's
notice
one note.
actually? And this is what I noticed when I watched it the day before I watched Joker. They had music from the entire movie. When you start watching that movie, there's music
It's a
Yeah.
true score.
all the way to the end. There's not a single part in that movie where there's just dialogue and no music behind it.
And it's a true musical score. It's not just a
Well,
bunch of
no,
artists.
in Dark
you
Knight
know?
there
Yeah.
was when Alfred and Bruce are talking, and he's basically like their relationship is severed.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
They
no
do.
music in that moment. That's the only moment.
Yeah, that's because they want you to listen. But the rest of the
Yeah.
time, it builds.
You're right though.
I fucking love that because
Yeah.
when I was watching it, I was like, I feel like I'm watching like it sets the mood because you're like, I feel like I literally felt like my blood pressure is starting to go, and I'm like, what is happening? And then I noticed nothing's happening, but it's the fucking music.
Bro, there's a moment where like you hear the Joker theme and it's like ding,
Yeah.
and then which by the way is played with a Coke bottle, an empty Coke bottle. I saw like Hans
Dude, you got
Zimmer-
like the best fucking stats.
dude. He played it on a cello with a Coke bottle.
Like
That's
how
that
though?
sounds. That's how that sounds.
So he
instead of a
played
bow?
instead of with
Instead
the
of
bow.
using
he-
like a bow, he used a Coke bottle. I think, man. Don't.
that
quote
shit
me
is
on that.
incredible.
That was so many years ago.
Yeah, because it starts
But-
super low, and then at the end of the scene, it's like
Yeah. Some with a Coke bottle. That's all I remember. Might have been a guitar. I don't even remember, but no.
Maybe you
Probably
heard
cello.
maybe you
It's probably
mis
cello.
maybe you misheard it and it was Coke ball.
Whatever. It was made in an awesome way. But long story short, that when you hear that note and then he shows up and he shoots that guy with a shotgun and takes his fucking semi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like before he's even there, you're like Joker's here.
But you know what that movie you know what that movie made me did before we come back to the original Joker?
Yeah.
It made me hate Batman.
Which one?
The Dark Knight.
Why?
Dude, that movie I felt like it was so trash. I was like, why is this movie so trash?
Oh, you're back on that again.
Dude, it was trash.
Oh, we're gonna go so derailed on
All
this.
right, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but I'm
let's-
just saying it was trash.
Real, bro,
We're gonna
back
get
here.
rid of the shit.
We got
Keep
numbers to
going.
give here.
Without Joker, it was trash.
We got numbers to give here. All right.
I apologize, but it was.
Chuck, what's your rating?
I had a initial number in my mind when we started before we even discussed this. Or we talk about it, the more I realize that is such a damn good movie.
It is.
Yeah.
though.
I loved it when we saw it, and I wanted to see it again in theaters. Didn't get the chance, but I wanted to. I will own that on DVD.
Thanks for opening the side door for
You
me,
still
by
have
the way.
time. It's in the theater. Hey, you didn't even. You were doing a show, man.
At this point,
I
I'm just
know.
going to wait. But I think Joaquin Phoenix killed it.
Yeah.
I think he was fantastic. He and Heath Ledger I can't put on the same level because it's two completely different
characters,
styles.
different stories.
To me,
I
they're
love-
on equal level. It's just
One had more action. Than
The
the
difference,
other one
though, like you said, is origin compared to I'm already an established criminal mastermind. Two completely different things. I think Joaquin killed it from the mental illness point of view because you could see the torment in his eyes when he's laughing and he doesn't want to, and you could see how much it's hurting him that he just can't stop.
Right.
And that scene alone just absolutely sold me on the movie. And not that the movie was bad by any means. I loved every moment of it.
yeah, but in particular, that was.
Honestly, I'm gonna give it 9.2.
Nice.
Damn.
I don't give high
Nice.
ratings, but I love
That's
that
a pretty
movie.
big. That's a big Chuck rating right there.
I don't give the highest ratings on this show.
Chuckles coming through.
Fuck you.
All right, Big Red.
So if you like Joaquin Phoenix talking about his performance, like if
But
you
the
look,
movie.
if you look up, well, I'm just
Just saying.
layers. I'm getting there. But, so like if you look up that disorder,
Yeah.
he nails it, bro.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he exactly like it because a lot of people are like always overacting. I heard somebody say that, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Nah.
You look it up, like he kills it, man. But just because you said that scene, but yeah, I give the movie a 9.7. I'll do a
Damn.
9.7 because,
9.7.
and the only reason I'm taking it down that 0.3 is because you saw the Zazie Beetz thing coming from a mile away,
Right.
and then when they reveal it, they have to show you all the moments. Like they don't even
Right.
trust their audience to be smart enough that when he's like wet in her living room on her couch,
Right.
and she's like, "You're the guy down the hall, right?" Like, trust your audience enough to know, like,
Which was a very uncomfortable scene.
yeah,
and I'm surprised we
we
didn't bring that
out
up.
of that scene a little bit.
I'm
because-
surprised we didn't bring that up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To me, it was great.
dude.
It was great.
Should we take the time to go and bring that up because?
Well, my thing
I think
is
so.
this. Look,
Did he kill her or not?
yes,
yes, exactly.
yes,
You think
because
so?
again, the
Give the
uncomfortable
backstory
laughter.
as to how it came into play first of all.
Well, immediately after he got fired, right? So he got
the clown
fired
job.
from the clown
Yeah,
job.
after he murdered.
He's having a
the
bad day. He comes back home, and in the elevator, shout out to the taxi driver in the elevator. He stops it. He lets her in. She gives him the fingers to the head with the gun, blowing your brains out.
Nice little callback to Taxi Driver.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So,
Cool, man.
a moment a bit and with him, allegedly. He ends up showing up at her house after he kills the dude, and basically grabs her with clown makeup on, with blood on.
I think he made all that up.
right.
Obviously,
Again,
he made all that up.
exactly, because he walks in making out
It's
with
such
her.
before he's even done knocking, she answers the door.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't. Honestly, I don't think.
He's like in the middle of a knock and she answers. I'm like, this is a dream sequence.
I don't think he killed her just off the simple fact that she never did anything wrong to him.
you know, that's a good point.
And that's
he
the
didn't
thing.
kill the
I
other
see
guy.
both sides exactly.
It's very ambiguous the way they leave it.
But when
Yeah.
he's back in his apartment, he's naked, like he's
Right.
in his underwear, which tells me maybe he took his clothes off.
Right.
Even though they didn't show like a lot of blood on his shirt or whatever, or they didn't show any.
Well, that
But when he's
and
walking down the
the-
hall back to his place, I thought like I would see blood maybe or something. But the second time
I don't
watched it,
think
I
he
was like,
did.
no,
I think
didn't.
he just was weird with it and left.
He's like laughing, but there's sirens in the background. Like when he goes back to his apartment, and you're thinking like maybe those sirens. Maybe
See,
it's
I
just-
didn't catch that.
Maybe it's
Right.
just Gotham.
Damn, I hope
No,
he
we
did.
caught
Yeah,
that,
it's
yeah.
Gotham. It's
Yeah,
Gotham.
exactly.
Nah,
What's that?
I think he killed her.
It could be that they're coming
No.
for her.
I think he killed her just for the simple fact
She didn't
that
do anything wrong to him. That would go against everything he's done in the whole
I mean,
movie.
it could, but
It's purposely ambiguous for sure.
right.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
like his reaction afterward kind of sealed it. With him sitting there in his underwear, him laughing uncontrollably,
Yep.
just like he couldn't take it. And I mean that whole moment, that whole scene was crazy.
Yeah, but-
even though I knew it was coming, I was
After
still-
everybody he's killed, how many times did he laugh?
But here's the thing: when he does commit violent acts, he's dancing. He's more.
Right.
yeah, he's,
Yeah.
he's not
So
laughing.
maybe he's like actually like uncomfortable there. So maybe he didn't kill her.
he didn't kill him.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he did.
Because that's already
There's
two,
so many ways you can go with this shit.
There's
Right.
because that's two things that would go against
Right.
what he's done the whole movie.
I
so-
say he didn't kill her,
He's
but
not gonna
like
change.
you could convince me easily.
and
that
plus
he did.
she's got a kid.
All right, so let me ask you this: you've seen this movie 3 times in theaters, right, Red?
Wow, really?
I would
You
have
didn't
seen
open
it
the door
twice.
once.
Everybody, dude, I've seen it with. I saw it with y'all. I saw.
You didn't
I don't
even
know
ask
if
me.
you know Blake.
Right.
You could have
I
picked
saw
me
it.
up.
So, in that case, you've seen it 3 times. You've
Yeah.
seen it from 3 different perspectives, essentially.
Yeah,
What is your rating?
I said 9.7.
9.7.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it actually went up from the first time. The first time I watched it because of that Zazie Beetz thing, and you see it coming. But when you notice like, first of all, it's shot beautifully.
Yeah.
The movie is shot amazing, dude. And the score that goes along with it, the acting. I love character studies, period. I've always been a character study guy. So, like, just, like, the fact that it's always from... The whole movie's from his perspective, even if it's a warped perspective. And, like, you don't totally get... He's an unreliable narrator, so you don't necessarily know if anything's true or not a lot of time. But I dig that shit, man. And it's just... It's punk rock as fuck. The movie is punk rock. When they have that... When he's going down the stairs and they're playing Rock and Roll Part 2...
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's so fucking. It's such a cliched song, like that you play at sporting events, and he's like in his mind, he's fucking dancing to that song. It's just to me, it's punk rock as shit, man.
Nice.
I love it.
You know a scene that
And-
got to me too, which really could have. And if this was like the real like, origin story, he could have changed the whole landscape of everything. if he would have just killed Bruce Wayne right when he had him yoked up against that fence.
But that
By the way, was that scene uncomfortable to you too? By the way,
yeah,
Where
everybody.
he just walks up, puts his fingers in Bruce Wayne's
Yes.
mouth.
yeah, the whole thing was
It's
weird.
child
You don't
Bruce
even
Wayne's
know
mouth.
where his
it makes him
fingers have been.
smile. Yeah, no, it's some random stranger coming up to your fence of your huge mansion in your house.
Now, was that Alfred that came and got him?
That was Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred.
Okay.
And he puts his fingers in the corners of his mouth and makes him smile. Like, who fucking does that?
I think
Joker.
What I think is awesome about that, somebody told me, I think it was you. You were like, "Why didn't Bruce Wayne just run?" I think it's like,
Yeah, that
I think
too.
it's a commentary though on their relationship and the fact he's fascinated with Joker.
Yeah.
and they're both fascinated with each other.
Yeah,
and the fact they have the bars between them, so it almost like mirrors a jail cell a little bit. Like
It really does.
kind of
though.
does. Yeah.
and he's reaching through, and then like Bruce Wayne comes down the pole to him, so it's like it kind of a callback to the old Batman series.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
See, I didn't look at it like that, but I thought that was another scene that I was just like,
I think thematically, and,
if he would have just killed this kid, there would be no Batman.
you know what I told them, I'm like, what?
But Joker doesn't kill kids.
You know what I thought was
Right.
going to happen when the Joker or the protester dude, and he's got the mask on, and he follows the Wayne family back into the alleyway. I thought they were going to kill Bruce.
Nah, man.
No.
Like I thought they were going to kill the parents, and they kill Bruce. And
Yeah,
then,
they
like,
would never kill
It would
Bruce.
be like all of fandom would be like, what
What
just
the fuck
happened?
did
Yeah.
you do?
I thought it was going to go fucking
Yeah, no,
really
they can't do
weird
that.
and
No,
dark.
You can't have a Batman without Joker.
Right. You
I
can't.
get it, but it would have made it where it's like this is just a fever dream of some inmate.
Nah, man.
Or it's like one of Joker's, like, you know, he says in The Killing Joke, he's like, I prefer my past to be multiple choice. And in The Dark Knight, he has all those different stories he tells different people.
Right. Exactly.
And like, I feel like this would be one of those stories. And like, they would kill Bruce Wayne, and that would kind of be like the sign that like this is not exactly
Yeah,
how
it's
he
not
how he
exactly
was
how it went
created.
down.
You know what I'm saying? But this is one of his stories that he tells people, kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Which I thought would have been,
That's
All
a
right.
good way of looking
but
at
it
it.
still was cool.
No,
Serge,
by the way.
so,
Oh, you're giving Sergio his.
Serge, your numbers.
Man, I don't know. I've already seen it. I've seen it once. Well, one in like a quarter. We just watched it a little bit. I loved it. I'm a huge fan of Joaquin Phoenix.
Hawking.
Like he's one of my favorite. Like one of my favorite actors.
hard.
Just because he could play the bad guy where you cannot stand him. He could play the good guy where you're just like, yo, I fucks with you. So he's like, to me, one of my favorite current actors
My favorite.
by far, and how he adapted that character and made it his own little thing. I'm with it. I love that one when he was just like, when he told the joke at the end, and he was just like, you get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah, dude.
And he did it like it was nothing.
How about another joke,
But then he
Brad?
came back and was just like, boom, 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 boom. I said, that's fucking classic. I'm going to give it a 9.
All
I'm going
right.
to give it a solid 9.
That's solid, yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I loved everything about it. From beginning to end, it definitely speaks about mental illness, abuse, and what it can do to you, society and what it can do to you, and putting expectations in your head of shit that is never going to happen. It just has everything, and it was just the way they did paint him as to be legitimately just a damaged individual who then takes the city with him, basically.
Right.
Kind of like a misfit of society.
Right. And then finds his misfits at the end.
Yeah.
I'm definitely giving it easily a 9.5. 9.5.
Ooh, my boy.
Yeah, he
Definitely.
killed it. Joaquin killed it.
Yeah. He murdered it. He absolutely murdered it. No pun intended. He right. See what I did there? But yeah, so I really want to get into this in the tall grass because we only got so much time left.
We got as much time as you
gotta
need.
pee-pee.
Stop
And-
playing.
right.
As long as you want.
Oh look, man.
Man, you know what? Before
We gotta
that,
get Dennis on the phone anyway.
We right. We gotta say.
Hold on, go there. Put that. You already know what time it is. For those watching here that don't know and you haven't been tuning into any shows on the Flow Higher Radio Network, we got a new segment called Shoot Your Shot. Nobody's with me on this. We're not going to shoot your shot. Essentially what it is everybody takes a shot and then we move on. So, around the world, blow the pool, capital L.
All right, watch all this. Oh, way off.
Big Red from downtown. Oh,
Oh, you're going to the back? Ladies and gentlemen, Serge is walking all the way. Gets nothing. Did all that for nothing. Can't even get his own rebound. He had to try 3 shots for a layup.
I'm sorry.
All right, so.
Did we owe the NBA after that?
No, not yet.
Did we what?
Do we owe the NBA after that?
No. You love that song? Like that's the retro like playoff.
Where
NBA on
is,
NBC songs.
Let's see here. So, in the
Damn,
tall,
I can't believe we didn't make a shot in this show. We
No.
made 1 shot yesterday. We made none today. It's been a rough week.
in the tall grass is apparently a Stephen King story.
I did not realize that until I saw the credits.
That's the only reason I watched it because I
And-
saw a story about it online and they were like, "Oh, Stephen King story in the tall grass." I said, "Sold. I'm gonna check it out."
The only notable name in that movie is Patrick Wilson, who was in The Conjuring, who played what's his Ed and Lorraine.
The father.
I can't think of.
Oh,
their
yeah,
last
the
names.
crazy dad?
Ed and Lorraine, whatchamacallit, from. They're real people, and I can't think of their last name for the life of me right now.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the actual The Conjuring, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
He was in that. He was in a couple of the horror movies. He actually grew up in St. Pete, by the way.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he was born in like Virginia or something, but he ended up growing up in St. Pete, which is pretty cool.
That
So
yeah.
he's kind of a local.
So wow. Like I left. I sat down and when I finished it, I was just like, "Yo, like, really?
yeah.
Like, yo, Tobin."
Shout out to Tobin. Yo, okay. Before you even get into it, is that the Great Hambino's brother or what? Because they look like fucking
Yeah.
twins.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking that
Or
myself.
it
We
might
should look
be-
that up.
It might be his kid.
That's what I was thinking too. It could be his
Being
kid.
as
they have to be related. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, they have to be.
as
Big
old
Red.
as he is.
Great Hambino is Tobin's. Is he related to Tobin or what? Because they got the same face.
I'll be back.
Wait, who in Tobin?
Great Hambino from Sandlot.
In the tall grass,
Catcher.
the kid Tobin.
The ginger.
I don't know the other guys.
The guy from Sandlot.
Oh,
Remember the catcher?
shit.
The great ham.
That's the first thing I thought. So I'm gonna check it out right now. I'm gonna Google it and see if maybe.
Oh, something I forgot to bring up about Joker.
Oh Lord, that's another 5 minutes.
What if he's an analogy for Trump too?
Oh God! All right,
Could
now
be.
we're.
He said, "You know what? Now that I'm taking a
I don't
piss,
believe any of that, Murray.
But so
let me check it out. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out this kid's name.
I really did not expect the movie to go the route it did, at all. Like
In the tall grass?
yes, like
B-U-I-E.
the premise. I'm like, oh wow, they're about to get lost in some grass. All right, this is weird. I can't see this going on like because the movie's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Something like that.
And I'm like, an hour and 45 minutes, these motherfuckers getting lost in the grass. I'm like, this ain't Castaway. You ain't got Tom Hanks. Like, how are you going to make an hour and 40-something minutes about motherfuckers lost in the grass?
Exactly.
And then after the first initial scene, pregnant chick with her creepy-ass brother.
Oh, what the fuck was that, man?
Here's the thing. I initially thought that was baby daddy.
Me too.
I initially
Because
thought.
that's how he treated it. He's
And
like,
then-
he's weird, bro.
Right. And then she's like, oh, but he's like, mom and dad, are going to understand or whatever the fuck he says, or screw what mom and dad think.
Screw what
I'm
mom
like,
thinks, screw what they think, screw what I think even.
yo, and I
No,
was
they're
just
not
like,
related at all.
Wow.
I don't believe that shit.
I don't
That's
believe
his
it.
illegitimate child.
It has to be.
You just
It
think
has
all
to
white
be.
people look alike, you racist.
No, these guys were fucking twins.
No, he really did, though.
It's like he was
you're right,
he
I'm
was
lying.
the Great Hambino without the freckles.
right.
Okay.
And as fat. But,
So
so
Tobin's fat in the face. Tobin's not fat. He's just
Not
fat in
at
the
all.
face.
I just really, honestly, it kind of, I thought it was going to be a multiple scenario, and then, maybe somebody towards, it was going to be separate stories. I didn't expect her actual baby daddy to show up.
Yeah.
Months later,
Yeah, that's what's crazy at the end.
the whole time traveling thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
Bro, it's time is a flat circle. That's what that shit is.
yeah.
It's like, I also think it's like Marvel's time.
You're gonna get on this merry-go-round somewhere.
Right.
It's there's a lot of theories as to how this really ends. Because do you think, okay, should we talk about the ending or we just
I need to plug up.
Are we talking about spoilers? Like complete spoilers?
Oh yeah, we're going full on spoilers.
Okay.
Plug up for what? Audio?
Yeah,
For what?
because I'm
Oh,
calling,
you're calling-
Dennis.
I mean, I don't care. It's a Netflix movie. You can spoil it.
So, like-
it's been out a week.
So do y'all think? So do y'all
All
think
right,
that
we
the
got it.
happening?
Hold on.
Like nature when it really attacks.
Hello.
Yo,
Hey.
Denise.
We got Aruba on the line. Aruba, we're in overtime right now because we
I
spent
see
way
that. I'm like-
so much time on Joker.
I believe that. You know, I was just thinking, I'm like, man, it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, they haven't called me. I'm like, they forgot about me.
Nah, man, we wouldn't
But-
forget about you, dog. So,
man.
what are your thoughts on in the tall grass? Because I know you driving, so I don't want to keep you too long. But I want you just to fill me in on how you was feeling. Like, how did this go?
Man,
for you?
that movie was twisted as fuck, man. It was interesting, you know. Like I try to wrap my head around what the grass was really about. Like what, like physically, the grass. Like, is that like another dimension? Is it like a time warp?
I feel like it is.
What it, you know, like I was confused as to what they were in.
Right.
You know, like was it a person? Was it a being? Was it something, or is it like a dimension? Like I didn't understand. Was that guy? I had a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. I didn't hear the conversation. How you did you guys already have a spiel about it? Like I haven't heard it.
Well,
so
we just
I'm not
kind
sure
of
if I'm repeating or if I had the same question as you guys, but
No, we just
We
jumped
literally
onto the
just started
topic.
talking about it.
Yeah. Like this is our overtime
So,
segment.
Can you hear me in the
You're
mic
good.
or
Say
like?
what you want.
I had more questions than I had thoughts about the movie. Is that if anything, man? You know, I thought it was a good movie. I mean, it was very graphic. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you know, all I could think about was that little kid Toby, and I'm like, man, that kid is gonna grow up messed up.
Right? Like
All I
filming
can
that
think about,
shit?
like, he saw too much. I'm like, that kid is like,
That kid's aged 10 years within an hour.
he's gonna grow up to
right?
be Joker, man.
It's a different Joker origin story.
Now, look,
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm like, that's Joker right there, man.
so
Holy.
let me ask you because this is I wanted to get into the jump straight to the one part that I know we're all probably like, at least for me. So because we're going to touch on random parts of this movie very quickly, but the ending specifically, does Baby Daddy come back around?
No.
They didn't.
No.
say much
I
of
think a
anything, but I
different
think
timeline
not.
he does.
But they never left that open though. It's,
It's up to interpretation. Just
No,
like,
because the only reason he came was because she didn't show up in Sacramento.
yeah, and his whole idea of staying behind was to make sure that they don't step foot within that maze or field or whatever.
Right.
But,
But
there
the
was
thing is-
another Tobin in there.
There
Right.
was, but that's
like,
the only
all those
kid
dead-
you heard at the end though. You did not hear. I'm sorry. What was the character's name? I'm drawing a blank.
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, her baby daddy?
Yeah.
We just going to refer to him. Travis? Oh, damn it.
Travis.
I was going to say, just refer to him as baby daddy.
Well, baby
BD.
daddy. You didn't hear his voice at all.
Right, but here's the thing, though. See, Tobin, you heard in the bushes,
Yes.
which Tobin came out the magical portal church, which I'm sure there was some type of subliminal shit there, whatever.
I'm sure
but-
that was.
They had that shit built, by the way, which tells me they were worshiping that rock.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. He purposely stayed behind to make sure they don't go in there. And he sent Tobin through, because remember, he touched the rock to know where everything was so he could get out. But instead of getting out because he couldn't, because he know he
Yeah,
couldn't,
you can't leave.
he basically pushed Toby out. He pushed him out so he can tell everybody
that was-
in that time frame,
That
in
was
that
Tobin
timeline.
2 now.
It's a different timeline, though.
Right. So I think...
That's where I think it's like a little weird.
Because 3 people touched the rock overall.
Yeah. Tobin
Yeah,
touched
Tobin
it.
touched
Tobin, crazy dad.
Dad-
it. Russ?
Yeah,
I
Russ.
think it's like Russ and
Russ.
Travis. Or
And
Russell
Travis.
or some
What
shit.
did that mean to you guys? So once they touched it, what did that mean to?
That
like,
means you're
what did that?
stuck.
I think the rock
stuck there.
was...
It's allowing yourself to
I
be
don't
succumb
think-
to
It's
whatever
all subliminal. It's subliminal
is.
meaning that you touch the rock, you sell your soul.
to the tree people.
That means
or
you can't leave.
Grass people.
But I don't think.
people,
I don't
yeah.
think.
So, but Tobin did. So how did he get out? How did he
Because
get out?
that
of
was the first Tobin.
That vicious cycle?
Because that was the Tobin from the earlier...
The
when they-
original Tobin.
The original
Right.
Tobin before he died. Or before he became one with the rock.
Gotcha.
Because the rock, basically, it seems like was possessing people.
It kind of seemed that
But
way.
Travis
Right.
used it for good.
Right, because he
Right,
got
I
it
was gonna
before
say, like,
it
was he-
fully
was
took
he-
him over.
He was.
Okay, so that's what I wasn't sure. I'm like, well,
I
if he's
think-
possessed, how did he?
Well, no. I think what it is that Travis had just enough willpower left to say, "I'm going to get this kid out of here before it fully takes me over." Because
How did he know that was gonna happen? Like, hey, I'm gonna touch this rock, and you know what?
well, because
this is gonna be my last.
the
time.
original
Well,
Toby,
Russ did say that if you touch the rock, you'll know the way out.
Yeah,
You
right,
just
but you won't want to
leave.
leave. Exactly, and so did the original Tobin.
But it's just
Right.
it just comes down to, are you a good person or are you a bad person?
Right,
Yeah.
but that's the thing.
Like,
He
Travis was
knows
a good guy.
Right, at ultimately, because again,
And redeemed himself.
there you go. Russ, crazy dad, fucking shot to him.
Patrick Wilson,
He
yeah.
Patrick
killed
Wilson
it.
killed it, bro.
Right.
He's
He was
awesome.
having fun.
He really did.
He was probably
But
the best thing in that
That
movie,
was his
personally.
thing. Was we all need redemption in our lives. That's why the Rock pulled them all together.
Well, the line that he said, and I'm going to butcher it because I don't remember it word for
Right.
word, that he said that absolutely got me was the fact that I said you could have turned left, you could have turned right.
Yep.
You
no
did-
matter where you go,
Yes.
You come right back
you're
to
coming
me.
right back.
right,
to
but
me.
you saw the
Exactly.
line
Right.
of dead bodies too, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could have made
Right.
any choice, but you made one.
So I think what it was is it was a almost like a purgatory.
Which to me tells you, are you a good person or are you a bad person?
Right. I think it was
Like,
a
it comes down to that
purgatory
shit, man.
and about the redemption because, again, it was that steady, he kept mentioning redemption, but also that point where fucking creepy brother decides to let Travis fall off the building.
Yeah,
And being that it is a Stephen King novella, I can definitely understand there might be a slight like religious undertone to it. Because
Right.
I've read a lot of Stephen King,
There's
and
a
I know
lot.
that he can do that. But it's definitely there, especially with the rock that you have. This giant rock that's probably what, like 10 feet tall, roughly.
Right.
It's really
Okay.
thick, and there's drawings and carved out on it, people and stuff.
And I'm gonna let you get home. It just kind of hit me wrong. I think the rock was the apple,
like
Adam and Eve.
Oh, shit. That makes sense, bro.
I could see that
Because
they
once
thought-
you eat the apple,
right, in this case, once you touch the rock,
now you see everything.
you see
exactly.
everything.
You see everything for what it is, and you want to stay that way versus going back.
That's a good reading.
It's true.
You know, because
I
it
didn't
makes
think about
sense,
it like
Okay.
that.
I thought of The Rock as literally The Rock and
right? Like
Dwayne Johnson.
you smell what you're cooking. Did you smell what the rock was cooking?
Smell what he was cooking. And like they're like, you want to touch The Rock, don't you? You want to touch The Rock.
You know, I actually thought about that myself when he said, "Do you want to touch the rock?" I was thinking
Right.
of Dwayne Johnson.
I literally the whole
I thought
time
that
I
was
was like
funny.
thinking of it as a metaphor, like in the back
And-
of my
and that's
mind.
the thing,
In
too.
my like child adolescent mind, I'm like, he's The Rock the whole time.
Right. He's got this role on lock. But no, and that's the thing too, because it kind of pulls back to the innocence of Tobin
Right.
before he touched the rock, because that was the version of him before he touched the rock. So he basically saw that, like, I will lose my innocence so this kid can get out and save others. So I think personally, Travis will see them either on the way back towards Topeka, I think she said.
Because
Yep.
he selflessly gave himself
Right.
up to.
Because technically he's saving himself too.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
That's what I was saying, bro.
He was being selfless the entire time.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Because he'll go back and they'll go back and stop him from ever leaving. Yeah, okay.
Because is it just me?
In a
or
different
was-
timeline.
Was he technically the only character that did not die and reappear back in that field?
Pretty much.
Everybody at least died somewhat and came back. He did not. So,
True.
you know, there was
But
that
also,
too.
there also was the thing where they kept saying that the grass doesn't move dead things.
Right, yeah.
I remember when he woke up the next morning in the grass.
And they found like
They use him as waypoints, all the dead stuff.
Yes.
But I think he died, though.
No,
But they never showed his corpse.
But the thing is, the grass doesn't move dead
The
people.
grass, like,
But
was,
they never showed
If
it,
you
did
look
they?
at that last scene, though, the grass is like enveloping it, like what's
Right.
the word? You know,
Enveloping
covering him up,
Engulfing him.
Engulfing.
Yeah,
him.
Yeah,
engulfing his whole being.
His soul. so Aruba.
Aruba.
What was your memorable scene? Like, what's the one that stuck with you the most?
It's probably everyone's the same scene when the guy smashed the lady's head. That
absolutely.
made such an impression on me.
the one.
I was
scene
like,
that-
Jesus. It was right in front of the kid. I was like, oh my God.
It was so out there.
That
You're
kid
like,
is traumatized. I'm like,
Oh,
this
fuck
isn't
it.
gonna happen. They're gonna show it, and I'm like,
Toby.
oh man, they really did show it. Yeah. That was the most memorable scene for me. You know what I noticed too was at the church there was a whole bunch of different cars there, right?
Yeah.
So whose cars were those? And those cars were different.
Those were all the
different
souls
years
lost.
too. They were
Remember
like
when
from
she-
like
Yeah, so there's the one scene where Tobin is talking, and he said, are you not listening? Or I forget exactly what he says, but it's like, if you listen, you'll hear something, and you hear all the voices on the
you
wind.
hear the voices
Those
in
are
the
the
grass.
voices of the past of all the people that have been caught in there since, obviously, the 70s.
Plus,
He
you wonder
talks
how
about
come
the
none
past,
of them
right?
came
Like,
out.
Plus, he talks about how they're all connected. So like,
Right.
you only
Yeah.
see people you're connected with.
Right.
You don't see the other people.
'Cause some of the cars-
Until... Is it the scene where she's eating her own baby? Because that's my favorite scene.
That scene was fucked up.
So like...
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that scene, I was like, that's
Yeah, that
trippy
was
as fuck.
pretty- yeah.
Her
that
brother
was
feeding him,
crazy,
and then
too.
he became...
Yeah, he was like,
What's
go
his
ahead,
name?
eat it.
Russ or whatever?
No, not Russ. It was...
What was the guy-
It started with a C, and I can't think of it.
But
Cal?
he never touched
Cal.
the rock.
No,
Cal.
he was Cal.
Yeah, Cal.
Cal was the
But
brother.
then, but then it reveals that it's actually
Oh,
Russ
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah, it
right?
was Russ,
that was
yeah.
feeding the baby to her.
Right.
I must have been half drunk at that time.
Dude, that fucking part.
That's
man.
what I remember.
Right.
That fucking. So,
So it was their brother feeding the baby
That
to
dude
him.
was weird.
And then, I'm sorry.
no, no,
It was
my
way
eyes were
fucking
itching.
weird.
I don't know if you were like,
No. My eye was itching. But so Aruba, what is your, what's your
he's sort of
score?
rubbing his eyes like, fuck this shit.
Like, you fucking
Like, y'all
killed
talking
me.
over me and shit.
Aruba, what's your
He's like,
score?
I'm sorry.
What's your
You can
score?
see it, Dennis.
Yeah, you know, I just say Dennis. It made me think way too much. It had way too much questions at the end.
He's like, why am I watching this?
You know,
Why am I thinking this fucking hard, man?
Damn it, sir.
I don't know
you
shit
know,
about timelines.
I'm like, I know this was just time. I'm like, I'm gonna give it like a solid 7.
Okay.
It,
Cool,
it
we'll
was
take that.
entertaining.
We'll take a C
I
minus.
don't want to fail it. I think it's a solid, C plus, C minus, somewhere
Well,
around the
nowadays, that's like a B
You know?
minus. 70%.
70.
True story.
It was good. It was entertaining. It made me think, and but at the same time, it left a lot of open questions for me. And I guess that's what they were intending to do. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7, a solid 7.
Okay, all right. Chuck, what was your favorite scene or memorable scene?
Most memorable scene? God, when he felt... Well, there's this scene where... what's his name? Russ, who's technically, I guess, the most corrupted one.
Right.
Is... It looks like the main character...
So
I can't remember her name. She looks
real
like
quick, so is it with
What's her name? Becky?
Becky, yeah.
Becky, yeah.
So it looks like her brother Cal, and he's like feeding her, and he's like, "Oh no, it's just seasoned grass, stuff."
Right.
Yeah,
So
seasoned grass.
it was the fucking baby. It was.
That's my scene too, bro.
That scene was like, holy
Spoilers.
shit, that's disgusting. Yeah, spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler.
We are never spoiler free, by the way.
Listen, don't
So
say it's
was he the
disgusting.
burning bush? Would he be the burning bush in Bo's theory with the apple
True.
and the
Yeah,
tree?
That's
apple-
true. Yeah.
Damn.
True.
Good
Damn,
call.
Aruba.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Way to
Damn,
bring it all
right.
around.
Listen, until you've ate baby, don't hate on it.
Right. Baby, the other white meat.
For real.
You heard that highlight
I want that on
opening,
my
Dennis?
public
That was
sub.
for you.
Right.
Speaking of white meat, this movie could have been over within the first 5 minutes if
Right.
I'll be honest.
it was some Hispanics in the car. Do you hear the voices in the car, tall grass? No, we don't hear nothing.
Nope.
Let's go.
I hear nothing.
I'm out.
Well,
That's
wasn't
what I was thinking the whole fucking
Well,
movie.
yeah,
wasn't
they're
she
working.
Latina anyway?
Huh?
Wasn't she Latina
I
anyway?
mean, no, it's possible. No,
She
she
looked like
wasn't.
she was.
No, that was full white girl.
No.
She was.
Her skin wasn't even white. It was
She
like
was
brown.
I'm sorry. I was watching this and I'm like, really? You guys gonna get out the car?
Well,
You
stop
gonna get out
watching
the
your
car?
bootlegs.
You're pregnant. Why does she got
Hey,
more balls than he does?
I'll be totally honest. Even today, if I'm driving by a field and some kid's being like, "Help, help," I'm gonna go in the field try to help him,
Yeah, no kidding.
Shit.
I'd call
Hell
911.
no.
bro.
Exactly. I'll call 911.
Well, she
calling
was on
911
the
in the
phone.
middle of nowhere?
She did
Yep.
call. She did call.
It's a
But the
child.
call got
man.
disconnected.
Yeah.
Well, no, she
And she
called
didn't even know where
midway.
she was.
No.
You think
She
you're gonna
called
get,
as
you
they
think
were
you're gonna
getting
get stuck
into
in
the
a
field.
continuous time loop? Is that what you think's gonna happen?
I'm not going in no tall grass. Listen,
We
I'm not
live
going in no tall grass. I'm not going in no tall
We
grass.
don't live in Ohio. There is no tall grass.
Yeah,
we
we're
live in
straight.
Florida.
There's cornfields out
This
in
is too
Ohio.
tall, kid. I'm sorry.
Bro, way too
You
tall.
gotta die out there.
You should have. I'd be like, "Hey, kid, you sorry? I can hear you, but you shouldn't have ever went in there."
Sorry.
I'm
Good
Spanish.
luck.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
The Florida version of that is being
I'd be
lost in
like,
the Everglades.
follow my voice.
That's what I'm saying.
Follow
Hey,
my
kid,
voice.
follow
That's
my
what-
fucking
you know,
voice.
Like I don't have to go in.
I'm not going in there.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
All right.
Man, Dennis, don't act like you wouldn't step in there.
I
Red.
wouldn't step in there at all.
Red, what is your score?
Y'all gonna be mad at me.
I think
No, we won't because we probably all agree.
So I
What
thought
was
the
Trick's
second
score?
act was boring as fuck, to be honest.
Okay.
Because they kept repeating the same thing over and over. Where it's like, can you hear me over here? Can you hear me over there?
Yeah.
And it's like I felt like it was. I don't know. It lagged for a long time until it got trippy. When it got trippy, I was like, "Oh, nice! This is fucking cool." But so like,
Shrooms kicked in.
I don't know exactly. So like, yeah. So the baby scene, that's my favorite scene where she's eating her own baby. Whether she thinks it's her brother feeding him, I think it was Patrick Wilson.
Listen, it's
It
grass.
It was
all
Patrick
grass.
Wilson.
Like you said, we're all grass. It's all grass.
Right.
And I felt like I love the story when you talk about it. It's more interesting than the movie was.
Right.
Because like when I was watching the movie, the acting was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
The fucking like the
wasn't
execution
good.
of everything was terrible. I felt like
Right.
the cinematography could have been better, like everything. Which I'm a big. The execution is more important than the actual premise kind of guy.
Right.
Agreed.
So like for me, it's like more of like a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's only. But I love the actual like story and like
The
the,
overall idea.
the narrative of it. I loved.
I
But
didn't-
everything else, I'm like, God, this could have been. So
I
much
forgot
better.
to give my rating. I give it a 6.8 because
Okay.
it was good.
That's very generous.
It was kind of generous, but I think that the Stephen King novella is honestly going to be better. I haven't read
Way-
it.
I'm
but-
sure it
because
is,
Stephen
man.
King goes into way more detail than
Yeah,
a
and he
movie
also
would
didn't
have.
direct or do any of that with
No,
the film.
no,
It was
no.
just based off of his story.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm the
So-
harsh one this time. Hey, Chuck, it's me.
Yeah,
Surge.
usually I'm the harsh one.
I'm gonna go with 6, dude. Like I'm in between both of y'all. Like
Okay.
like I said, I was like you said, dude. Literally the first 40 minutes, I was kind of like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's boring.
It got
For a
really
long
Now,
time,
the
it
one
was
thing I
boring.
give that movie though is that it kind of jumped right into it. It didn't take long to get into it.
Yeah.
It's just like they appeared.
We're jumping
at
into
the-
grass
Yeah,
within the
exactly.
first 10
yeah.
minutes.
Were y'all actually
Exactly.
scared
I'll give
about the
him that.
grass people or whatever they were? It's like
No.
I thought
They
it was
should have
stupid.
done something with that.
necessarily.
They did nothing
They're
with
so
them.
creepy.
But there was
Yeah.
actually no grass people. It was technically Russell.
Yeah,
But you see the
Right.
one scene. There's this grass dude that has like a hole in his face,
Yeah.
and they don't do anything
I
with
missed
it.
that. I must have been half asleep.
Well, and I think they didn't really like fuck me up, but it definitely kind of like I was like, whoa.
I like
I
the
agree
story.
with Red. The execution was terrible for a story that could have been really good.
that's how I felt the whole time. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, this could be so good.
Yeah, I like the story because of the whole time travel
No, the story was
aspect.
really
Too. I
interesting.
love the narrative. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm down with it. But it's like, other than Tobin, I thought Tobin did really good for a kid actor.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, he's got.
But like
yeah,
other,
future.
Yeah, he
other
was
than
good.
him,
I
I was
like-
like, man, all y'all suck.
I wish there would have been more backstory on The Rock.
right.
Yeah.
I would like to
No,
know where the
totally.
fuck that came from.
I think it
Considering
should
that
have just
Stephen
been. I think
King-
it should have just been Dwayne the Rock Johnson naked in the middle of the
Like,
fucking.
The Rock is carrying this huge ass rock, and he's like, "Well, guess I better put it down here."
I feel.
He just walks off.
If that was a true,
I
Stephen
feel
King
like
book,
that would have made the movie 9 out of 10.
Way better.
If that was a true Stephen King book, there would have been 5 chapters about how the Rock came to be, where
Right.
it was.
Yeah, 'cause that's what
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know about The Rock.
That would have been 45 minutes of the movie.
Because obviously the first person who touched it had to have been just trying to climb that bitch to see how to get out.
but technically,
Right.
Tobin
But that
touched it
church,
before
that
Russ
church
did.
was like it was called something like the Rock Church. There was like the Rock was in the title of the church when they showed the sign.
Was
Yeah,
it?
I didn't see
Yeah.
I
that.
missed
I have to
that.
recheck
Oh,
that.
see, I didn't
So
notice that.
there's a whole there's
Yeah.
a whole other level to it.
Yeah.
So like
Right.
So there might be
the
a
reason
cult
that
side to it.
So the reason that when Travis, the baby daddy, when he saw the fucking maze or whatever, and he
Right.
sends Tobin into the fucking like room, that little like wooden room.
Yeah, the
they
church.
built that shit.
Right.
They built that shit for a reason, bro. Like that church did. Because like that's where he shows up, and it's like
So
it's
hopefully-
the room has no other purpose except to be like
The safe haven?
yeah,
Or the exit.
That's your exit point.
Yeah, the exit.
Yeah.
The
Exit point, yeah.
And
Well,
like,
all right.
and
Hopefully
like,
they come up with
I feel like that
another
church.
story.
All those cards are there. There's like the
'Cause-
hamburgers in the passenger seat, and it's like maggots in it and
yeah,
shit.
'cause
so
there
they've
was
been there
months-
for a
Well,
while.
mentioning the safe haven,
Somebody went wrong, and all of them are in the fucking ground. Remember when they show that scene where like the ground opens up?
Yeah.
yeah.
And then like they go down and it's all those people. I feel like that's them.
So
down
they
in
need
there.
to make like another,
Yeah,
another
that's true.
movie.
All right. Well,
Speaking of the safe haven, I do want to mention that since you brought it
Real,
up.
real quick, I just want to add that how dumb the brother was to go into that field with no phone and no glasses.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
What the fuck?
Thank you.
How about
Bad
she
point.
was able to call from a different timeline? She was able to call his cell phone.
Right,
I thought
right,
it
that
was
was
weird.
cool.
She called her
called
own
herself.
cell phone.
I thought it was.
herself.
Oh, it was her
called
cell
herself,
phone?
Yeah,
yeah.
because remember she got the
But
phone
it's
call
still, like,
later.
how does that work?
well, because she's calling herself. That's why it was an unknown number.
You're not supposed to think that much into it.
Yeah,
But
you,
yeah.
you really think it's too much.
It's so fucking-
Why did it just go to
It's even worse
voicemail?
that it's her own cell phone, actually.
But yeah. All right. So go ahead.
Why was she like, I got signal now. Who should I call? Myself.
Yeah, right.
Like
Trying
I was
to
gonna
warn
say,
yourself.
That's so right, dude.
I can't call my brother.
Like,
He
who's
forgot his
thinking
fucking
that?
phone.
Oh, whatever.
All right, Chuck.
Now that Red mentioned it, was it Red or you were Dennis? I forget who mentioned it. Back to the point where Travis went into the church initially that nobody else did.
Right.
Walked back to the room that was initially the safe room, but he tried opening and the door was locked.
Yeah.
Travis was the only person that tried that.
Right.
But obviously the door was locked, and he's the one that actually ended up putting Tobin into that room, the safe room. I didn't really make that connection until you mentioned it.
That's true. I like
I
it.
didn't even make that connection.
Nah,
All right. Well, myself, definitely the birthing scene, more so than eating the baby, but the actual birthing.
Yeah,
That was
that's
pretty
crazy.
weird.
The
Yeah.
ground, opening up,
man.
that
And there's a
whole-
bunch of weird like babies in the ground reaching
right
out.
people
and stuff, and,
like,
And that was on the Rock too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the carvings on the rock exactly that.
Oh, the carvings on the rock. It literally
Yeah.
showed people carrying a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
like they,
and then the
Yeah.
woman giving birth.
And then
they kill the baby.
Sacrificing the baby,
it kind of brought me back to
Skewering the baby,
movie
yeah.
Mother.
skewering it indeed. Baby kebabs.
Normal,
all right, so
normal Kansas
This is
shit.
gonna get really dark really quickly.
I gotta.
It's just another day in Kansas.
I gotta.
It all depends on how long you leave it on the
Definitely.
flame.
Middle of the. Oh wait, how the
what I
rock?
did there?
Is, so wait,
Come
the
on,
rock
guys.
is in the middle of
That's
America,
hilarious.
as if that's like.
Yeah, it's like the center.
First
point
of all,
America.
that's
Yeah, but-
bullshit
but-
because I've been to the center of North America, and that's the middle of Rugby, North Dakota. So that's bullshit. That looked like that was Nebraska.
But it's
Hey,
like, but wait,
better call Stephen King.
Hey,
How does
hey.
like these invisible lines?
Well,
like,
now you're
this shit
getting
is-
too far. Now you're getting
Bro,
too
like,
far.
in the
into it.
middle of
Thinking too
America.
much.
What does that mean?
You're thinking too much.
The geographical
America is just
center.
what's going on right now, but Pangea was a thing at one point. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's just
Apples to oranges.
Like, I mean,
Apples to
the-
oranges.
the-
Fruit can't be compared.
It's constantly
because
it's
the
constantly-
middle of
All right,
America
all right,
is in Montana.
All right.
It's
all
just
right.
silly
The
shit.
middle of
It's silly shit.
Enough.
Damn it.
Enough.
I'm pissed.
Enough.
It's in Kansas or wherever the
Enough.
fuck this was.
Enough. All right. So I'm giving it myself.
3 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5. 6.5.
That's a good.
You almost want to make me redact mine down to like the
He's
6.6.
like, wait a second, I
Make it to 6.8.
I
That's
scored
kinda
this
generous.
way
That was
too
pretty
high.
generous.
Nah, definitely 6.5.
I put it right in the middle, 5.
But
I like the narrative.
Aruba. Do we?
Yes, sir.
do what? How? We do want a quick synopsis of how your meeting went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. How
Yeah.
It went really well. It went really well. It was a company called Tasty Creations. They're doing like kind of like an edible or like a what is it? Edible arrangements.
Underwears? Oh.
And they're doing like a little event that they want to kind of do, invite some people over and have some kind of comedy, side to it. And they wanted to see if I wanted to do a little set for them, get the crowd going and get the crowd comfortable, get the kind of like a little workshop for the Tasty Creation or the edible arrangements. It was good. It was cool. Tasty Creations is the company's called. It went really well. I'm gonna be doing them a set over there with them on November 17th.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. It was
Okay.
it'd be great. It'd be the venue I think is in somewhere in Waimama. It's a little far, but
Oh, that's like Russell.
hopefully if everything takes, it's gonna be their second one that they're doing. They already did one last month, and it went really well. They had a good turnout of people, and they're gonna do another one November 17th, and I'm gonna be a part of it. It'd be cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Well, congratulations!
Yeah,
a round of applause for Aruba.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Yeah, round there.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah.
All right, so
And
go ahead and plug your upcoming shows.
Be funny.
Oh yeah. So I have another show coming up on October 23rd at the Brass Mug. It's another. I'm gonna be opening up for a very funny comedian, Ethan Long. He asked me to come out and open for him, and I was very honored and excited to be his opening act. It'd be awesome. It'd be fun at the Brass Mug on October 23rd.
Oh, so
Come on, have fun.
you know Taurus then.
I'm going to meet him, so I don't know him too
Dude,
well, but
when
yeah.
I tell you he's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life, you're gonna love him, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited. We messaged back and forth. He seems pretty. He's awesome. He's pretty cool. But I'm gonna meet him for the first time at the show there. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah, Taurus. I
Yo,
never
tell
know him. Yeah, it'd
him
be
Sir
cool.
said what up. He's gonna be like, oh shit, you know.
Well, definitely will. Thanks.
All right, and you got another one outside of that one, right?
I do. I have another one November 20th at Snappers in Palm Harbor.
Palm Harbor.
It's going to be a showcase and be six other
whorehouse.
comedians, and we're going to be kind of like a little competition, fun competition to see who can get some tickets to another show. A big headliner there, so we're going to be competing for a headlining ticket there.
Oh, shit. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Some things going on.
congratulations. We're
I
proud of
appreciate
you.
it, guys.
Moving on up.
We wish you were here with us, but you know,
Yeah, I wish it was there too.
you got to make these big moves. Do you have any parting words, sir?
No. You know, I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you guys today, but you guys held it down, and thanks for the phone call. I appreciate you guys still including me. And I love you guys. Thank you guys so much.
We love you too.
Love you too, Dennis.
We love you, Dennis.
You guys are awesome.
You take it easy.
Don't
Drive
ever
safe.
come back.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Thank you.
Later,
We
man.
love you, Dennis.
Peace.
Aruba!
I use love heavily, not lightly.
Nah, never that. All right, so
I love Dennis.
But do you really love Dennis?
I love Dennis.
We're officially locking in the boys.
Fuck
right?
yes, we are.
My recommendation.
Another Surgeon General
Okay, so I have a
recommendation.
recommendation.
All right.
So when I was watching, what the fuck movie we talked about?
Joker?
The Tall Grass?
In the
Into
Tall
the Tall
Grass.
Grass.
Oh, in Tall Grass.
When I was watching that, she was eating the baby.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a movie I watched.
You just keep going back to that scene, huh?
Bro, that fucking scene tripped me out.
That's the best segue I've ever heard.
I know. I want to know where this is going. I got to.
Dude, it reminded me of a movie called Raw that came out 2 years ago.
Raw.
And it's
Oh, was it the cannibalism movie?
yes.
The baby was wrong.
I heard about that shit.
It's incredible. If you want to watch one of the best trailers ever made, look up Raw.
Yeah.
The Red Band trailer.
Yeah.
Raw for Raw.
Seen it.
Probably because of me, honestly.
No. I heard. I seen a story about it.
Bro,
Like it's.
I watched that
fucked
movie
up.
like 10 times.
Yeah.
Like that shit. That was my shit.
Raw.
And it's a great Halloween movie. It's not like a traditional jump
Right.
scare Halloween movie. It's just more creepy and weird than anything.
November 1st is when we're coming back, so it's the day right after. So the Day of the Dead, still appropriate.
But I would love a review
Close
of
enough.
Raw.
All right, Raw it is. We're locking in Raw.
Raw.
Now, can we get that on Netflix?
It's a French movie. I don't think you can now.
No.
Is that an Amazon Prime or is that just
I
like
don't know what it's on,
what I'm
man.
going to go hunting for?
All I know is it reminded me of that when I was watching that movie.
All right, I think we can get it. So we'll see.
But
my voice is The Voice.
Yeah.
That show is incredible.
Yeah.
I got.
You're welcome.
8 episodes. Yes,
You're
thank
welcome.
you, Serge. 8
I'll
episodes, 1 hour each, roughly.
I'll start
Okay.
tomorrow probably.
You haven't watched it yet?
You will
No, I
get
haven't.
hooked.
Holy shit.
You will get hooked.
You're going to watch like 5 the first
Everybody
day.
tells me it's
Yes.
awesome, man. Like,
All right.
so what's the other one? It's The Boys. It's
The Boys, Raw, and
Mandy.
No, you already got yours.
That's our weekly joke or bi-weekly joke.
That's what we're going to do. We're never going to watch Mandy.
No, you're not even going to be here for next episode.
That's fine.
To
Yeah,
be-
I will. I
That's
might
the
be
episode
here.
we should review.
To
it
be
then, 'cause he's not
honest.
going to be here.
I'll probably be here like the first hour,
Oh yeah, you're not even gonna be here.
depending on if my
Yeah,
car works.
That's
You have to be
funny.
able to review Mandy yourself.
Yeah, really.
You know, let me see. Within regards to Halloween, actually, since we still got technically like that little window, I think we should do Halloween.
Oh, I'm down for Halloween, man.
I think we should do the original.
The
Halloween.
original?
Dude, I'm so
Scariest
stoked for the next
custodian
episode
ever.
now.
Actually,
I would have
Raw
chosen.
and
I would have
Halloween?
chosen like the Omen or the Thing or.
Dude, I could talk
you know.
about Halloween forever, bro.
You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do Halloween.
Yes.
We'll do the boys. We'll save Raw for another episode.
I probably need to hunt that one down.
Yeah, because it
So
might take some
good.
time to get that.
You want to get a good copy of it too, because the cinematography
Right.
is so good, man.
And you know what? Just because to bring it all around, I think we're gonna do Freddy versus Jason.
Wow.
Yes.
So yours is favorite. So you're giving me Halloween, basically.
I'm giving you Halloween. Well, you'll do Freddy versus Jason, Halloween, and the boys. I think that's a fair split.
You guys
That's a good one, yeah.
are gonna love the boys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would. I've heard nothing.
You haven't
but good
watched it
things.
either?
As long as we really,
Oh.
we
Oh my
really
God!
can, we really can do Raw later.
Yeah, of course.
I've
Okay,
been
okay.
asking this guy to watch The Boys before I asked you guys.
Well, now we have a legit purpose
Red.
to.
Oh, because everybody
Let's do
else
it.
said it. Okay,
Red.
I get you.
Do you
yeah,
have a
Mr.
copy of Raw?
Spotify.
Got
I
you.
do, actually. I
It's
don't
a
know if
Spotify
I
rule.
I bought the movie. That's how much I love it.
Oh,
I
wow.
might have
I
to
bought
borrow
it
that
on
from you.
iTunes.
That seems like one of those I might actually have to physically borrow from you.
See, I
'cause
don't have
know.
a physical copy. It's a
Oh, you
digital.
don't?
I don't know if I could share it or whatever.
You
But
should be able
digital?
to.
We'll figure
can?
that out. We'll figure that off air.
All right.
figure it out.
All right. So, do you have anything?
Nah,
any
man, let's figure this out on air.
Any shout outs? Any?
I don't have any shout-outs this week. My one recommendation is I've been going back and listening to this band that I've been listening to since I was like probably 13 years old called Anathema.
Anathema.
They're from England. They started off as a doom metal, kind of depressive, and over the years they eventually evolved into like a more prog rock band.
Which is progressive rock for those.
Progressive rock, yes. Like Porcupine Tree and whatnot, and Rush and all that.
Rush.
But if you've never listened to them, they have an album called We're Here Because We're Here. It is, I know the name, but it is the most gorgeous album I've ever listened to.
Okay.
It is extremely ethereal. It has a nice, like, spiritual feel. It's not spiritual, but it kind of has that feel to it. They have a sense of taking their melancholic beginnings and tying it into an uplifting feel into this progressive rock sound.
Okay.
And it is some of the most beautiful music I've ever listened to.
Nice.
It's 9 years old, and it is still one of the most beautiful albums I've ever listened to.
So, what was the name of the band again?
The band's called Anathema.
Anathema.
The album's called We're Here Because We're Here.
Is it like Kiss My Anthea?
What?
No.
I don't get the reference.
What? Role models?
That album, yes. That album is absolutely gorgeous. I never saw Role Models.
What? Dude, that's one of Stifler's good movies.
One of his good
Hey,
movies.
Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd in that are fucking
He
great.
had like 3 good movies, and Paul Rudd's awesome, but Sean William Scott's like the same
Dude,
thing.
Role
every
Models,
movie.
honestly, was one of those hidden gems.
Either
that
way,
didn't get as
before
good
you
as I
interrupted me
thought.
like the rude asshole that you are.
I do.
That album is incredible.
Okay, all right, I like it. What about you, Red? Any shout outs? Any last words? Into the mic.
I just watched.
So everybody can hear you.
It was just an They're not missing on.
But they did
El Camino was amazing,
Oh, I need to watch that.
I watched that too.
I need to watch it.
Damn it,
dude. I was honestly skeptical going into it. I was like,
No, one thing I want to ask before going into this, and this is not a spoiler by any means.
Right.
This is a follow-up to where Breaking Bad ends, right?
Yeah.
right after it starts.
Okay.
So he
That's-
drives
that's-
off into El Camino.
Jesse's character,
Yeah,
Jesse
Jesse
Pinkman.
does. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
After everything goes down and Walter, well, no spoilers, I guess, for Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I gotta watch the last
I was
episode.
just curious because I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
So he drives
forgot
off
about-
in El Camino, which in Spanish means what? The path or something like
The
that?
Camino.
The Camino.
The Camino. So yeah, it was amazing. Dude, the cinematography is just as good as it was in Breaking Bad throughout the whole thing. It's 2 hours, pretty
Okay.
much exact.
Yeah,
So
and it went by
feels-
quick.
Yeah, it feels like 2 episodes, basically.
Yeah, it went by quick.
And, oh my God. Like, I love that Jesse Pinkman got his ending because I felt like the other one kind of left that a little too open because
Right.
he kind of got fucked by Walter White. Walter White was a piece of shit, let's be frank. Let's be
Right.
honest. Like, everybody
One of my
loves to-
favorite characters
Everybody
He-
loves to look at him
he
like
broke
Scarface
bad.
character.
He
where
didn't.
it's like,
He didn't start off that way.
No, he
No,
broke,
I get it, but
he broke bad.
But if you honestly look at
Exactly.
the end,
So bad.
but if you look at the end, the reason why he even came back was for Jesse. So let's
Partly.
it was
Partly.
more about himself.
Partly, that's a
Think so?
whole
Yeah, I
other
know so.
episode.
It's selfish shit. Like
I don't know, dude.
And dude, I think honestly, I think he's well intentioned, but I think like he doesn't even know that he's.
Well, no,
actually,
he had first-hand admits. You know,
the best villains.
It got to the point where
the
he was
best
like,
villains,
"It's about me."
The best villains are well intentioned. Like Thanos. Thanos is like,
Joker.
I'm just trying to joke. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, kind of, I guess.
yeah. But yeah,
He's just so anarchic, like such an
Anarchistic.
anarchist and everything. Like, I don't know. He's different. But.
I don't know. I got to watch that last episode
So, yeah.
again. But from what I remember when I first watched it, he wasn't going to go back. But the only reason he went back was because Jesse was kind of stuck.
right.
Well, yeah, he did. I mean, and he
Because he could have left and said, "Fuck
He
everybody."
rigged up his car to like have those miniguns
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah,
Whole
He didn't have
nine.
to do all that.
Yeah.
So I look at it like
but he's kind of atoning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
exactly.
But he did fuck up.
Right.
He did.
And he was acting selfishly for
True.
a long time.
Pretty much.
But
so that was his way of kind of breaking
yeah,
even.
he kind of I got you. Yeah, and he gave that money to his family and everything.
Yeah, I love Walter White. I think that to me, easy top 3.
It's one of my favorite
shows of all time.
Absolutely.
So El Camino for being a 2-hour kind of add-on, and there's a lot of fan service. There's a lot of remember this guy, remember that guy.
Yeah,
right.
Like, and it's kind of like that's a little I don't want to say it's annoying.
You want to say
they do it really well, man.
Like Vince Gilligan holding on to his like Breaking Bad fame, or
yeah, a little bit,
Okay.
but it's so well done. And there's a guy. I won't say what character comes back because it's a spoiler. There's a character that comes back where I'm like, he should play the Penguin in a new Batman trilogy.
All right.
That's the Penguin.
Didn't they announce a new Penguin by the way?
Riddler.
No, they announced the Riddler.
But that's
Paul
again,
Dano.
another whole thing. Serge, any last things?
Flow Higher Radio.
It's like our intro here.
It really is.
I don't know. No.
Okay. All right.
Shout out to Highlight.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
If anybody has access to the dark web, let me know because I need to get contacts.
Without
a prescription.
Like some shit, share some shit, follow some shit.
Show us some love on Facebook. We want to know what you guys want us to watch and review.
Get on our the FooL and Friends page. Share on iHeart all the things, Spotify, Spreaker.
Spread the love. Let us other people know that we exist.
Feedback is always welcome.
Absolutely.
I want to thank Chuck and Big Red for coming in today.
Cheers.
Serge, round of applause for...
Cheers to that, even though you don't have a drink right now.
Right, no. I got to,
Cheers to your wild.
Thanks for Aruba. Congratulations again. Appreciate you. And... so you got a song by any chance? You ready to go?
You know what? Let's run one of
and Roll
Ayo's
Part 2.
songs from yesterday.
Okay, yeah, Ayo. All right. He was on Blunt Sessions last night. Check that out on the Flow Ohio Radio Network. Bo to FooL, I want to thank y'all. Tune in on November 1st. We'll be back for another episode with our reviews of the aforementioned films and me scratching my nipple. Thank y'all. I love y'all. Peace.
Who says that?
We
Scratch
love you.
my nipple.
Thank you.
Well, it was happening, and I keep remembering I'm on camera.
If anything, you say scratch your chest.
Not
Really?
nipple.
Yeah,
You're
you
so
could have
specific.
just said
Don't
chest.
gotta do
All right,
smoke,
y'all.
'cause my nigga gon' get you. Gotta grind hard, and we gon' get rich. All my niggas down, 'cause we all get the pitch. Just in case a nigga wanna diss. After you go down, we gon' take what's on your wrist. Tryna cross the line, we gon' show you what it is. Everything was fine till a nigga run they lips. Rolling with them boys that won't hesitate to let go. Gotta keep it G, I've been real since that get-go. We ain't with the rah-rah, nah, say that shit for the birds. Homie, fuck what you heard, out of line, that's my word.
Just in case a nigga wanna diss. Yeah, we out of line and you know we ain't gon' miss ya. Tapping on the line and I heard they taking pictures. When we come around, bitch, you know that we them niggas. Think I'm on my mind when they say that we the realest. Niggas I'm around, they some lions and gorillas. Get your team flatline down with them pistols. Plotting in the background, how they gonna get you? Get you.
Don't gotta do the smoke, 'cause my nigga gon' get you. Don't gotta do the smoke, 'cause my nigga gon' get you. Gotta grind hard, and we gon' get rich. All my niggas down, 'cause we all get the pitch. Just in case a nigga wanna diss.
Yeah, we out of line, I don't think they get the picture.
Yeah, we out of line, fuck you and them niggas with you.
Yeah, we out of line and you know that we them niggas.
Just in case a nigga wanna diss.
Get your ass flatline, smoked with them pistols.
Yeah, we out of line, you don't really want no issues.
Don't gotta do the dirt, 'cause my niggas gonna get you. Yeah, we're too official. Certified niggas, man, it all could be so simple. Drop bombs on in Vietnam with the missiles. Feeling like LeBron going hard, blow the whistle. Niggas switching sides, playing Malcolm in the middle. We be on our grind, make it double, make it triple. Baby, just whine on the nigga just a little. These niggas lame, man, I swear that I don't get it. All them boys, same nigga, then they go to bitches.
Just in case a nigga wanna diss, we war ready, fuck a ether. Bite your face through the speaker, fuck the speaker. Pull up with the heater, blowing reefer, me and Elgin in the two-seater. On site beater, nigga, hot as white beater. Shit hit the fan, nigga, hotter than a fever. Colder than the freezer, come and pull your face back. I'ma rob the world, nigga, you can rob a racetrack. 'Cause my nigga gon' get you. Don't gotta do the smoke, 'cause my nigga gon' get you. Gotta grind hard, and we gon' get rich. All my niggas down, 'cause we all get the pitch. Just in case a nigga wanna diss.
Yeah, we out of line, I don't think they get the picture.
Yeah, we out of line, fuck you and them niggas with you.
Yeah, we out of line and you know that we them niggas.
Just in case a nigga wanna diss.
Get your ass flatline, smoked with them pistols.
Yeah, we had a line, you don't really want no issues.
Don't gotta do the dirt, cause my niggas gonna get you, get you.
Cause my nigga gon' get you. Don't gotta do the smoke, cause my nigga gon' get you. Gotta grind hard, then we gon' get rich. All my niggas down, cause we all get the picture. Cause my nigga gon' get you. Don't gotta do the smoke, cause my nigga gon' get you. Gotta grind hard, cause we gon' get rich. All my niggas down, cause we all get the picture.
Say another motherfucking word, and this shit is over.